Well, tell
There
us.
you go. That's how we know.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, guys.
Hello, hello.
One for the channel memberships. Oh, I was reading Joey's
Yeah,
comment.
I fat thumbed it and messed up. Thanks to everyone for the channel memberships. You guys are
Yes.
awesome.
And
There
one
was
for
a
the
few
channel
of them.
memberships.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, welcome to the Wednesday night live stream. And we are going to, since Dana and I didn't get to go to SHOT Show, and Kayla and Joey did. And one for the channel memberships.
Oh shit! Sorry, that's my fault, guys. Sorry. Let me turn that down.
That's his phone. That's not your phone. We're going to, they're going to give us the rundown and the debrief on how SHOT Show went, and then we'll see where we go from there. So,
Nope,
Caleb,
that's
what
me.
was the coolest gun of everything that you saw at SHOT Show?
The coolest one I thought was the Olympus Arms 308.
The no recoil.
The no recoil.
What'd you call it? Baby kiss?
Baby kisses.
Yeah.
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 That was the coolest one because it takes the reciprocating barrel technology
Yeah.
that Barrett was using, but it had way less recoil than any of the Barretts that I'd shot.
Yeah.
And literally, guys, less recoil than my M&P 1522.
Yeah. It was
In a 308.
The video was awesome. When I saw that, I was like, "Whoa, that
Yeah.
thing moves."
Yeah.
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 I was happy I got that on because I was working the camera for that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's like, "Hey, watch the barrel. It moves like 5 inches." I was like, "All right, whatever."
Yeah.
You know, I had it and
It
I
was a
saw it in frame. I was
legit
like, "Oh
5.5
shit!"
inches that it moved.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it moves at a much slower rate than the Barrett one does. I mean, the Barrett one you can't hardly even see it. You know, it happens so fast.
Right.
Cool. Joey, what about you? What was the coolest gun you saw?
Probably, if I just say the coolest, the Fold AR is really cool.
What's the Fold AR?
So that was the one that folds into 3 parts.
Uh-huh.
So it's still like, it turns into a cube pretty much, about this big.
Okay.
Oh. Turns into a cube that folds like this much.
Okay.
That's probably the coolest maybe. But the Genesis 12 shotgun was really cool as well. Another short recoil, so the barrel reciprocates a bit
Yeah.
and stuff like that, but in a semi-automatic shotgun.
You know that's actually a Browning design.
I think
Browning
you mentioned
Auto
that
5.
in the video, yeah.
Yeah. Like 19. Oh, it's an old design.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's what Tim used in the first war. So back to the folding AR.
Mm-hmm.
It's this cube shape. How do you deploy it to make it usable?
I don't know. I mean, the guy, he showed us how he did it,
So-
you know? But it was one of those things that, like, he was very practiced in it, so I don't know how
Yeah.
practical it is, but it was cool, you know?
The one of the cool
So-
folding things that I saw that you guys did the video on was that one with Lewis, where at
The
first I
pivot?
was like, the pivot. And I was like, oh, this looks kind of Kel-Tec-y, hokey. And then I was like, I saw it, and then you guys kind of did some close-ups, and I was like, that thing's like made out of metal. Like,
Yeah.
Now, that one, Lewis afterwards, so you guys who watched the videos, we didn't get it on film, but he asked the guy to do the...
I'm gonna get to you, Lewis. Don't you worry.
1 second, Lewis. But he asked him to do it on, like, hey, how fast can you do this? It was 4 seconds.
Okay.
It was, and he was the demo
Like
guy.
from folded to
Yep, from
mag
all the
in,
way
ready to go.
compacted. Yeah, because you have to have the mag out
Yeah,
and
to
everything.
fold, right.
And so 4 seconds to get it back to
Awesome.
working.
Okay.
Coming to you live now from his mother's basement, Lewis.
His
Lewis?
sister's basement.
Sister's basement.
Lewis is under the sea right now. Everything's better down
Yeah.
where it's wetter. Take it from Lewis. Lewis, what was
Shit.
Lewis? What was your favorite gun at the SHOT Show this year?
Ooh. So before we go to my favorites, just to kind of give a little bit more info on that Fold AR.
Yeah.
So it's double folding the handguard, barrel, chamber. All of that has a pivot pin at the front of the upper receiver.
Okay.
So when you fold it, you're actually looking in, and you see the chamber on one side of the chamber, and then you see the bolt inside the upper on the other side.
Okay.
So that's where the fold happens at the front.
Damn pervert.
And then buffer tube kind of similar to law folder, but it goes the other way. So it's like a letter Z.
I gotcha. Sorry, I just got molested by Tim
No, you
again.
that's called a credit card.
I know.
Enjoy.
I know.
But it
You
said
did not enjoy.
insufficient
I know
funds.
that.
No.
You drove all the way to town for that.
Yeah. Lucky me. Okay, so enough about this folding AR business. I mean,
right.
Tell us about the what was your favorite gun that you saw at SHOT Show?
Tim, you're not in frame.
To go
Get in frame,
with
Tim.
a
You have a
gun,
TV in front. There you go.
I'm gonna go a couple years
trying to
back.
give
It's
Dana
not a
some room
new
here.
release for this year, but it's something that I've been
Just here
like
to make sure.
looking at or looking
What does that
for an
mean?
opportunity to
What does that
shoot
even
since
mean?
it came out, and
Yeah.
that's the Laugo
Hey, I have a
Alien.
question for you.
Oh yeah, Yeah, I saw your video on
That
that.
was a very
Flat
very
shooting.
interesting shooting experience. Like
Very.
it's hard to describe. The only way I can compare it is with like another uncommon experience, and that's driving the Tesla Plaid. Like I've driven fast cars before, but like usually there's like some torque to it or something like that. With the Plaid, you just kind of like boom into the seat like a rocket ship. So the shooting the Alien was as unique of an experience.
I got you.
Just
Okay.
something I've never felt in any other pistol.
Okay, cool. What about all right, Lewis, since we're on you, we'll let you we'll go in reverse direction this time. What was the coolest piece of equipment, non-firearm equipment or accessory or whatnot that you saw at the show? It could even be clothing.
Oh, hey.
That Katanica Impact Joey did a video about.
Yeah.
Looked like a really cool bag.
Yeah.
Or a piece of kit.
Yeah.
You know, that can be used in a bunch of different ways. So that was pretty on point there.
In a good, come on, man. Don't make it weird. No, I know you.
Okay, that's yours. That's yours,
one of the
Lewis.
big- yeah.
Kayla, what's yours?
Um,
Non-firearm piece of equipment or
I got
clothing.
a new tourniquet to try
I'm
out.
getting in the pocket.
That-
It's a
Snake
ratcheting
something.
style.
Oh, the RMT.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the ratcheting style tourniquet.
So I
One of the
thought
complaints that we had with the other ratcheting styles was that you can only get one or two fingers up under there. This one, it has enough space for you to get all three fingers
Under the new-
under the
the
thing,
lever.
and then you like when I was messing up, it was user error, just not knowing how it worked because the booth girl didn't.
Know how it
She was
works
just
either?
like, just here,
Yeah.
go try them.
Yeah. I normally
yeah.
work at Chili's.
Yeah. So as soon as I started doing it correctly, like
Hey.
I think it's gonna be legit.
That one just got Committee on Tactical Combat Casualty Care approved like in the last year and a half or something.
Okay.
Cool. Cool.
About to run the hell out of it through some medical classes.
Yeah.
Joey?
Company, the tourniquet company again? What was that?
RMT,
Yes.
Okay.
Ratcheting Medical Tourniquet.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your coolest thing?
I think
coolest piece
this
of gear? Was it the
one-
Blackhawk
I think this one-
holster
Well,
setup?
I know everybody's
RS.
talking about the nacho. The nacho was pretty cool, but we had those sent in beforehand.
Okay.
You know? That Scorpion pack was pretty cool. I don't know. It's hard to pick outside of the gun stuff. I think the tourniquet, the nacho, the Katanica Scorpion pack, like those were all pretty cool.
I like that they call it the nacho
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I love nachos. I always get nachos at the movies every time I go.
Shit.
What'd you forget, Lewis?
The Foxtrot Mike 7.62 gun.
That was a gun, though. That was a gun, and
The
Yeah,
accessories
I know.
count
I'm
in
just
the
going back to
Midwest
what I forgot
Industries
on guns.
AK Alpha stuff.
yeah, the
Yeah, that
Midwest
was pretty
Industries
cool.
AK Alpha
And
stuff.
they even have like their own AKs now. Like
no, they're not building their own AKs yet. It's still just the accessories.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yep,
you
still
need to
just
do some updating to your AK.
yeah.
So I've got a question for the group that went there.
Mhm.
Did anybody check out the new Beretta A300
Patrol.
Patrol? Did anybody check that out?
We only shot the single action only, whatever that new Beretta is, the single action only. We
Okay.
did a video over it, but
The-
that was the only thing. we
Nice.
Well, they've got a new.
92
All I'm saying is they have a new one out now called the A300.
It's like the
Patrol.
budget
It's
version,
a budget version
of the 1301.
1301.
Okay.
It's got a little. Now it doesn't use the same operating system, but I would assume from Beretta it's going to be reliable.
And Tim and I are in a race to see who's going to get one first.
Oh, I know who's going to get one first.
Yeah, it's going to be me. It's gonna be me.
I don't mind.
May.
Another cool piece of accessories and stuff, the XS Sights gunsmithing sight tool.
Yeah,
Their
with
front
that
sight
wedge.
tool, the wedge, and then their
the
front
tool's
sight tool
built
has a
into the
magnet
windlass. Yeah,
to hold the screw.
so you don't have to put a drop of Loctite
right.
to hold it.
When I was putting in sights all the time back at the
How much you drop?
old shop, holy shit.
Yeah, they're a pain.
And I was like, I would buy that just to have that little
For the magnet,
magnetic
yeah.
tip on the end of it.
That's a good point.
Yep.
There was back to what Lewis was saying about the Foxtrot mic 762. That looked pretty intriguing, and then they also said that there's one that's coming out that'll run off of AK mags. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to see
That we is that the one that we did our name? The one that will run off
You
it.
did the AR with the Rock and Lock mags.
Here's
Okay.
my question as someone who's an outsider wondering.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go to the PSA booth?
No,
Palmetto State Armory?
No, we didn't.
Like I had a list, and then one day
I
we
swung
get-
by quick.
Oh, he said he swung by really
You
quick.
did? So here's what I didn't know, and maybe people in the crowd didn't know this as well. I mean, or maybe I'm just this village's idiot. But PSA makes their own AKs now,
Probably not.
and they use Nodak Spud receivers, and they make all American parts, so there's no 922R crap that's in it. And I have it on good word from everybody's favorite large-headed man, Jacob Herman, that they run. And so I tested one out, and by golly, not only did it run, it shot to the sights, like tight, like to the point where at first I thought I missed the target because I was like, oh,
Yeah, there's got to be a spread then. There's not.
something's gone here. And so I reeled it in. It was all one hole, and I was like, okay, this will work. And Jacob said that they're literally like less than $800, but
Damn.
they're like the Kyber Pass type guns that we used to get made, back in the old days, like in 06 or 07, when we had to send off a kit to like Jim Fuller, and it's a $2,500 gun.
Yeah.
So now you can basically get 3 for the price of
Right.
one.
Well,
But they had all kinds of cool
Right,
variants.
and the problem is the kits have dried up anyway. Like
Yeah.
Years ago, I bought 2 Hungarian kits, and through Occam Defense, Brian with Occam Defense, he said he'd build them for me. He said he doesn't normally do that, but because he builds his own receivers and trunnions and all that stuff. And I said, no, if you got somebody you'd recommend, he goes, Lee Armory in Arizona. And I sent 2 of them out to him, and they're legit.
Yeah.
But the problem is the kits are not available anymore, so you're going to have to buy a pre-built gun.
And you can't really get receivers anymore. So.
Right, yeah, Nodak Spud was the only one that
Yeah, and
I
now
ever
they're all
recommend.
PSA.
Right.
So
Yeah.
cool. Okay. So as you guys all know, James was a huge fan of, advocates in the industry that do things to not necessarily support their business, although we support their business because we're patrons of people who support freedom. But there's always people at the shows that, you kind of break through and you don't necessarily know about them before. So Kayla, who did you meet at the show that you feel is like a new good, or even an old good, ally in the fight for freedom?
So, who was the guy? I'll let Lewis have him because he met somebody. We have some alumni that were working a booth, the basement level. It's a gun rights organization out of Colorado.
Okay.
And we're going to be doing some videos with them to try to help get some change made. They just passed an assault weapons ban out there.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing some stuff with them.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think of the word. James was the most what person? To the point literal.
Yes.
Literal. If you take that word freedom literally, Ed Calderon.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't geek out very much.
He's a cool dude.
I kind of geeked out a little. I was just like, it's pretty cool to meet you. He's like, wow, I'm a nerd. I'm like, well, then you're the king of the nerds because you're really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's a good guy.
Literally, teaching about freedom.
Yeah.
That would be mine.
he's experienced the other side of it.
Right.
Yeah, the hard way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's shouted me out a couple times when he's read my stuff, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Kind of.
So,
That's really
Joey, what
cool
about
for me.
you? Freedom advocate.
In all honesty, I didn't meet a lot of new people. the first 3 days that we were there on the floor was mostly, keeping up with the people that we already had connections with.
Sure.
And then day 4 was Lewis and I running around doing some stuff. So,
I got that one.
I mean, I just can't recommend any of our channel sponsors that we have on there, XS sites and stuff that we did videos with. I mean, of course they're out there fighting the fight for us.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer this question. We just got. Forgive me for asking. Who's the gentleman on the left? That would be you. This is Sherman House. My first visit ever to Tactical Response years and years ago. I happened to be in the team room and in the class with Sherman House, and Sherman said to me, "I'll make you famous. I'll put you in SWAT magazine."
And then I did.
And then he did. September 2010, I think, was when that edition came out. But Sherman is OG
Big time.
Tactical Response. Over time, the number of people who were here when I got here that are still here has dwindled. But Sherman was here when I got here. And if you ever get the chance to spend time with Sherman, whether by taking a class or just hanging out, you should do it. So that's Sherman House.
I've been.
Let me add to that real quick.
Former and current instructor, and a man of many talents, well-read, well-educated, and very interesting.
Just, come on, make it rain.
And
Make it rain in the
if you guys
comments.
want to have the next class with Sherman, he's helping me, or I'm helping him per se, in the next shotgun class, which is coming up. So you guys look
February
it up.
11th and 12th.
11th and 12th. Thank you. So look it up and sign up. We do have
not
space in
praying,
that class.
Tim.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
We do have room in that class for some more.
And
freedom
I'll be here
loving
this
people.
weekend, 28th and 29th, and then also 4th and 5th.
So,
Sherman,
excellent.
I've been teaching immediate action medical for a little over 15 years now. Sherman taught my first immediate action medical.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I started with Tactical Response with James in 2006 as the medical program director and as a firearms instructor. And then I also was a member of the first inaugural Tactical Response instructor class, the very first one. So, and my my vocational background is law enforcement, fire, EMS. I'm still a current reserve law enforcement officer in Tennessee, and I also was an armored truck guard, rode shotgun on an armored truck with, literally with a
Literally?
shotgun.
I love it. Literally.
Or sometimes a Mini 14 or an
Dang
M1
it.
carbine.
Who's the dude in the background putting on lip balm?
You gotta leave some resume for the rest of us, guys.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
that's Lewis. No, it's not Lewis. So anyway, yeah, that's me. If you want to train with me, come on out. I'll be glad to see you, and we'll Tim and I will get you squared away. So, okay. So that's Freedom Advocates. Thing 4, cool industry people.
You didn't ask Lewis.
Hold up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lewis. God,
Hey, look at him.
God damn it.
He's like Horseshack over there.
Mr. Cotta.
Well,
I love it.
no,
You got to be at least 50 years
no
old to
one-
know who
no
Horseshack
one's
is,
wearing
by the way.
headphones, so nobody can hear me.
I can hear you. I just hear.
Nobody's wearing headphones, so no one can hear me.
And I heard you say leaves.
And
What'd you say?
Tim
Leave
doesn't know how
some.
microphones work. He's having side conversations.
Yeah. So Lewis, what was your? I know that I saw the video. You met with the guy from P80,
Yeah,
it called P80?
Lauren Kelly.
Lauren
Like,
Kelly. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, his name, Lauren Kelly, owner of Polymer 80.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy
He's going through it.
is a patriot.
Yeah.
He is a straight up patriot, and doesn't want help from anybody. Like, he's ready to go solo. He's like,
Yeah.
these products are going to be successful enough that I can fight this fight. Like,
Yeah.
dude, talking to him, I talked to him a bunch off camera.
Yeah.
But like, that is a dude I definitely want to keep a relationship up with. He is like one of our people for sure.
Yeah. I've never fiddled around with any of the Polymer 80 guns before. I've seen them in classes. They've ran fine. You know, as long as there's like a.
They followed the instructions.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, they put the holes in the right place and whatever. But yeah, I would say that guy. I would not want to be in his position right now, though. He's got all the government like staring down his neck right now. So,
Dude, but the way he's looking at it, like I wasn't around when James kind of had stuff going. I mean, you and
Yeah.
Dana definitely know more about that time period, but he's like, whatever, come on.
yeah,
Like, if this is what they're going to do to me next, then this is my option to go to from there. Like,
Yeah.
the ball will not stop rolling, and
Yeah.
like that's mindset, and he's
Yeah.
got it for us.
yeah, that's awesome. So Lewis, since we got you on the line, we're live with Lewis, everybody. Tell us a person or an industry contact that you made that you were just like, oh damn, this dude's or this gal's legit, and you didn't know about them before, or you didn't know like about them to the depth that you learned at SHOT Show.
There's a few of them. Like, I don't want to leave any off, but like,
Well,
right
no, you
off
only
the
get
bat,
one.
Like Marty
Just
Daniel
do one.
was-
Okay.
just
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Marty Daniel Defense. He was very, very nice. And I mean, obviously a busy dude at SHOT Show, but
Sure.
took time to say hi to us, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. Kayla, how about you?
So this one's kind of a cop out for me.
Okay.
It took me until SHOT Show of this year to realize like how cool my dad was. The road that he paved was so bump free.
Yeah.
Like when we got there, everyone there was super welcoming. Like Marty
Yeah.
was like, "You're Yeager's daughter. I want my picture with you." I'm like, "You've got people lined up to take
a
their picture with you."
Yeah.
And like my dad.
Yeah.
I think the ghost of James Yeager's just as, if not more powerful than James Yeager. Like,
Well, like when all Jedi Knights die, they get to exist in ethereal form,
right? And that's,
and I really think that he does.
Get that one.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I did get that one.
Like
this.
but it was one of those moments, like, because Dana introduced, like, he put me in touch with Rock, and all of these people, like, the only ones there that did not know immediately who my dad was,
Yeah.
was people that they paid to look pretty at booths.
Right. Yeah.
So it was.
But he got pictures with them too.
Yeah.
Joey, how about you?
What's the question?
Cool industry people that you didn't know about before, or that
Oh.
you hadn't fleshed out until now.
The biggest one was Rock. Getting to meet him was super cool.
The Rock.
Rock.
No, was Rock Galati.
Oh.
He was the coolest.
Yeah.
Rock Galati.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
One of the
last
premier,
year-
if not the premier, Hollywood armorer.
I'm trying to
gotcha.
speak louder. So last year I went with James to SHOT Show, and he introduced me to a lot of the people that we went to this year. You know, so I was just happy when they were like, "Oh yeah, I remember you. Come on in," right? Like that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
again, like Kayla was saying, that road he paved
Yeah.
was super easy to navigate,
Yeah.
and had a lot of good time. But yeah, I mean, I think of course meeting Rock Galati was the coolest because he's like, "Let me tell you about the guns from John Wick 4."
Yeah. It was
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
like,
Cool. Okay. Well, let's see. What else? What else did you eat at any cool places?
the getting to eat inside of the Venetian, like it was its own experience.
Yeah.
Because I was telling Lewis and Joey, look, when we were walking around, I was like, holy shit, this one casino
Has everything.
more people in it and more stores and restaurants and all of that than all of Camden.
Yeah.
So
They don't want you to leave.
it was no, they don't.
It's one-stop shop.
I tried to leave out
I
a
could
shop.
just see Kayla wandering around.
Yeah.
Golly.
That's what I feel like. Everybody, like, oh god,
Gummy bears, gummy worms, gummy watermelons, gummy cherries,
you gotta be
gummy
careful.
gummies.
Those all have weed in them there
Yeah.
because they're dispensaries.
These ones are leaded. These ones are unleaded.
No, but like anytime I go to a place like
Yeah.
that, after like Camden being my home,
Sure.
I'm like, they can totally tell like that's just some backwoods country girl who is in awe of
Nah.
like
Oh.
the
I felt
lights.
so cool guiding them around. only because I was there the year before.
Yeah.
But like I was like, no, guys, that's not the right way. This
Yeah.
is the way, right? Like,
Yeah.
Lewis was always wanting to take a left, and we need to take a right.
I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm whatever Joey says.
Felt professional.
I'm in.
Yeah, it's Las Vegas is an overwhelming place if you've never been there before, but I just really like it because it's, you know, I don't drink, I don't gamble, you know, like I like hanging out in casinos. I think it's fun. You know, I'll play a poker machine on occasion or something, you know, if I'm got some time, but I just love how like there's just such a subculture there.
Yeah.
You know, and you know that here's a weird thing. Okay, you get a kick out of this because you're medical. There's 11,000 people a year that die in Las Vegas while on vacation.
Okay.
So all of the hotels that are on the strip have like an algorithm and a way that they can take dead bodies out of the room and never have it be seen by the public and get those people like to a subterranean level where they're moved out of the
Yep.
facility and to the mortuary.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so
creepy.
there's a whole like
Big time
the other thing is,
suicide.
here's another weird fact that I saw is every hotel on the strip has like dumpsters, like 5-yard dumpsters that are filled with sex toys that people leave behind, and they can't just put them in regular garbage bags
Because they're hazmat.
Because they're hazmat because there's lithium batteries in them, and so they have to put them into these 5-yard dumpsters that are specifically for
Oh man.
yeah. So pretty wild. Yeah, weird
So
Vegas
entrepreneur
trivia.
could go there and recycle those and make a bunch of money.
Don't even go there.
If you guys see Tim in
No.
Las Vegas with a
Dumpster diving.
Costco pack of Clorox bleach wipes, no, he's not there for COVID. He's up to no good. So take his keys, duct tape him, put him back in the truck,
Hey,
I'm
and
just,
get him back here.
I'm just keeping that shit out of the dumps, man.
Casey, Power Tech did like your photo. I sent it over to Rob when I messaged or emailed him yesterday. He really appreciated it. Thought it was awesome.
Lewis has a question or a response.
Go for it, Lewis.
well, I mostly had my hand up just to try and change the topic away from Tim and that dumpster.
Yeah.
But I did actually write some stuff down that I had to mention about the experience at SHOT Show. So I figure while I got your attention, let me jump into some of these, start
Hit us.
conversations.
Let's go.
So one, the
I can-
videos
I
we
can-
were doing,
Thank you.
we were trying to get videos out as quick as possible, like as close to a live stream as we could from the show, from the range day and from the show. And a lot of people in the comments like are talking shit about the employees that we interviewed, like, hey,
Oh,
Glock needs a new rep or whatever it is. Like, the amount of videos that we got done, we would not have been able to do if we would have like scheduled an appointment for the media guy for
Yeah.
that product, right? So like people that are watching these videos, like cut the dudes a break, like
Yeah.
standing there, they've given spiels, 400 times that
Yeah.
day, like just stuff.
And
that
they're not
I
gun
didn't
guys, they're
realize as
sale
someone
guys.
who consume SHOT Show content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's what James would
also-
say in a situation like that. Where's your fucking video?
That's what I did say in the comments.
Yeah,
when
where's
they
your
were
fucking video?
Like, showing us a gun that we've seen like 3 times before. What content did you cover?
Exactly. So yeah, people always, and that's the thing, is Lewis, going forward, don't ever read the comments. Don't ever read the comment. I don't read comments on anything I write.
and
It's
I'm-
literally
anything
his
I
job
post.
too now,
Like,
though.
Oh, well, I guess you're the comments. Never mind.
I don't care about the comments like about me. If I'm fucking
Sure.
shit up, all right, and comment on it. But like this dude standing at a booth, he's an employee. Like
Yeah.
90% of them were like, I'm not the guy on camera, and we were like, yeah, just clip microphone and
Yeah.
talk. Go.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I mean, if you
Give
go to a
those
car
a break.
dealership, there's going to be guys.
I say it a lot.
We're back up.
Hey!
Hey,
Heyo.
Shelton managed to get it back up. The internet.
Um,
I mean,
guys, fucking be easy on the employees who are trying to help us out, make as much videos as we could for you.
yeah. And the people that want to fucking talk shit in the comments,
other
come on down. Lewis has been lifting weights. He's really strong right now. He will pick your sorry ass up and throw you in the fucking dumpster with the dildo. Good with his shirt off.
Oh,
He looks good. He smells good.
He's
He
got a
dances
full-on-
good.
I don't know about. All right. I guess kind of similar in the comments, like you should have asked X, or you should have asked about the Y. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think people have any kind of appreciation. I know I didn't before being out there for this week. Like the sheer pace of SHOT Show and the amount of shit that's coming at you from all directions, basically.
Yeah.
So like, again,
Well, imagine
give us
if
a fucking
the
break.
spiel that those guys were giving you, if they have to give that same spiel 6 times an hour, you know, for 10 hours a day for 4 days, that's a lot of spiels.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like, and then by day 2 or 3, everybody's got the Panamanian super flu, and so you know that makes it worse. And by the end of the day, you're just like, yeah, it's a fucking magazine-fed 9mm. Takes Sig P226 mags. It's got some sights on the top, and it's striker fired. So awesome. What else do you want to know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So and then I had there were like two things I definitely wanted to see that I didn't see.
Mm-hmm.
One was the tactical internal carrier for AR. Wanted to see that, so you can use it while folded. The other thing was this bullpup revolver that they came out with that I wanted to see just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound like something I would want to shoot.
No, I don't want to have a cylinder
Like
gap
with the
that close to
chamber
my
gap
face.
right there above your hand.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that's what I figured on it. But
I like both my eyes.
I'd take a picture holding it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Lewis will shoot a Taurus judge. Got him.
He did.
Oh yeah, I heard that you were a fan of
And
the
then-
Taurus Judge Executive, Lewis. Tell us about that.
I'm gonna cut you, Lewis. I swear to God, I'm gonna cut you.
That's a humdinger right there. It was very, very well built gun. Probably the most versatile shotgun ever made.
Yeah. There's actually
Can we get a blinking
there's actually
sarcasm
a cult for Taurus Judge owners. Did you know that?
Oh,
Would not surprise
there's
me.
a cult, all right.
It is. And there's actually a they sell every single
Called
one of those they
Are
make.
they looking for new leadership?
I don't know. Why are you gonna
No, because Lewis has a job.
yeah. I don't think they pay anything, Lewis. I think it's like yeah.
Just
You got to rung what you brung.
It's all right.
Oh my God.
Cool. What else you got, Lewis?
And then there's just the sheer number of like, there is no safe direction
Sure.
in that show, right? But the sheer number of just absolute stupidity violations with the safety rules, like, there's no need for me to take this gun and like hold the muzzle with my hand as I test this trigger. You know what I mean? There's just no reason.
You mean let me
for it. I think it would be
dry
fun
press
to-
this revolver into my hand 10 times consecutively as fast as I
Yeah.
can?
No, the weird
Yeah.
one was
Yeah.
the dude who
Yeah, yeah.
pulled the
Like,
trigger
they're
and then
they're taping
followed
semi-autos
Lewis and I
out
with
of
the red
batteries.
dot. It was like, what's
He
wrong
wasn't following
with
you.
you?
He knew Lewis.
Maybe.
He wasn't following you.
So I think for SHOT Show coverage next year, what I want to do is have like a cameraman that just follows Tim around, and Tim Lee Job, he wears a red hat and just goes around just slapping guns out of people's hand.
No,
I'm game.
no,
And he can wear a Arby's mitten,
no,
like
No.
an oven mitt.
no, no.
And it's going to say Tim on one side and smack on the other.
When you have me being the hall monitor, like, you're way off kilter. Okay, no.
Hey, Lewis, thank you. And by the way, you got to.
And
He's totally
Lewis, Richard
ignoring
Pope
you.
wants you to know that he heard if you buy a Taurus Judge, you can take it through both fighting shotgun and the backup gun class.
Damn.
I don't know. The one thing I
and
think
fighting
that,
revolver.
that I've always kind of wondered about the Judge, and I've wondered about it with that new one with the shorter barrel, is like, how does that thing actually shoot 45 Colt? Because, or is there too much, I wonder if there's too much freeway space between the end of the cylinder and the forcing cone for it to actually
You
work.
mean the center of bore gap? How much?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it does. They say it shoots both.
Yeah, but I wonder if they actually come
I
out,
hit
you know.
steel.
Wonder if you get a big
reproducibly.
flame blowing out the sides. I don't know.
You shot it at the range day with 45 Colt?
Yeah, I 2 hits. Yeah, 45 long Colt.
That was the one that
Ping,
it got me.
Yeah.
Or you
Wasn't
got
it?
some spall off of it?
Yeah, because I was
See?
trying to get close-ups of like the trigger pull and everything, and he shot the first, and I was like, "That didn't feel good."
Yeah.
But then
I
he was
think
like,
that
"Now
was
like,
the Raging Hunter, Kayla.
oh, okay,
You're the raging hunter, Lewis.
I see the problem.
what's the
You
problem?
shot a gun called a Raging Hunter.
I wouldn't want to shoot a gun called the Raging anything."
Yeah.
Hi.
What else you got, Lewis? As our field correspondent, coming directly from the San Diego Aquarium.
People.
Where the fuck is he?
He cut out. He's like, fuck this.
He left.
This is
Lewis
Tub
left
Tub.
Okay.
In his
No,
sister's
he's in
basement.
the he's at the Little Mermaid gift shop at Disneyland.
Get the hell out of here.
Under the
But
Hey,
He got mad service
let's
under the
see.
seat.
People are complaining that adding a rail or adding a handguard to an EK is going to make it heavier in the comment section. Like, fucking, oh, Jesus. Like, is that not just simple math? Yes, if you put something on something, it's now going to be heavier. Unless you're installing a fucking...
Only if it's
board.
heavier than what you took off, though.
Well, yeah, if you're taking
Like,
stuff off. But if you're
we
just
got a
adding
lot
new
of
shit
weight
on, it's
comments
gonna be
on
fucking
the
heavier.
Midwest Industries Alpha Series video.
Yeah, it's made of metal.
And but the thing was, it wasn't any heavier than my Occam. Like I
Right.
didn't notice a huge difference. So
Here's my solution. When people say, you know, like I'd love to be able to use, like that, we were talking about that Mag 10 road blocker. So everybody that doesn't know, there was an awesome gun that was made probably up until what, Tim, the 80s? That was a Ithaca made shotgun that was a semi-automatic 10 gauge, 3.5 inch chambered shotgun called the Ithaca Mag 10 road blocker. Like how cool is that? If that doesn't just make you think of, you know, Sheriff Buford T. Justice standing there with that thing looking for Smokey and the Bandit, or the Bandit and the Snowman, I don't know what does. But anyway, it's a 10 gauge, 3.5 inch Magnum. And they said, you know, like that's a cool gun and all, but it's really heavy. Yeah, it's really heavy because it shoots 3.5 inch 10 gauge shells that have like 30 pieces of double aught buckshot in them per shot.
Of course it's
Like, of course it's heavy. If you can't pick it up, you either need to make yourself stronger or go get yourself a Taurus Judge
I was just telling him to get stronger.
or a Mossberg 410 or something. Or you know, just get a 1022.
What happened to Lewis?
He disappeared.
But I hear him.
okay.
I don't know.
Hello, Dolly. This is Lewis.
Oh,
Where are you, Lewis?
Okay. Sounded taller on the radio,
He
Sheriff.
went to the head.
I wonder how nautical themed the bathroom is. I mean, nautical theme in a bathroom is easy to do. You can get that at any Walmart or Target.
You can.
But
It's got one, I bet it's got one of them.
he's got lobsters, crabs, and a flounder. So that Zenit Co.
We're
stuff,
only 100
all
yards
that
from
stuff
the
that
beach.
comes out of the former comm block, as well as a lot of those Israeli accessories. I mean, they're okay, but it's like when you add all that stuff on there, I think that it kind of turns into a thing where people go, well, I've got some open rail space here, so I need to add something to it. And then before you know it, I've got 2 vertical foregrips, an IR illuminator, a magnifier, a red dot optic, you know, and you've got all this extra stuff, and what are you doing with it? Oh, well, this is my home defense gun. Really? You want to see my home defense gun? Like, it doesn't weigh as much as half
right
as much
here,
as that thing. Yeah, I got a pair of them.
I literally had a girl come to class with a 930 Mossberg semi-automatic, and she she bought it because it was on the cover of a magazine, and everything that was on that gun, on the cover, was on that gun when she showed up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about a laser, lights, foregrip.
She want to be like Uncle Jerry, man.
But you know what happens. By the time we were done with the third drill,
It was all off.
They're all falling off because she didn't Loctite it in the first place. And number
Yeah.
two, I'm glad it fell off because then the gun started working like it was supposed to.
That was something else we missed. Neil Trout at Foxtrot Mike, he is working on his own little side project, and it was a little piece of equipment that allows you to stake your castle nut in the correct spot, and like it still looks good every single time. We did an Instagram short on it, Joey.
Yes.
YouTube short
and Instagram.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
It was
Cool.
really cool because that was one of the things. Like James has a little springy punch that we use. He had a tool, and it was just like every time.
James did mine with a hammer and a chisel. Yeah.
And then people were like, "Why are you staking the castle nut?" Like that's what half the comments were.
Yeah. How about these nuts?
FYI, guys, I'm starting to do short videos. I'm trying to do more of those, and currently they're on shotgun. So in the
We got a fun
comments-
one coming out tomorrow.
Like they'll be on anything but shotguns.
No, they'll be on other things besides
Okay.
shotguns. Mind your
All right.
business. But anyway, the
Motorcycles
next,
and putting hookers in
And
the trunk.
yes, fat nuts. Like a
No
cart
fucking
in our.
motorcycle.
We need a cart in our.
moving on.
One-hand
The next
shot
video
shot.
is going to be the next one I'm going to do. They may put one out in front of me that I've already done, but the next one I'm going to do is going to be on slings because there's a lot of misinformation and people don't understand about slings and shotguns. So that's the next one I'm going to do. So I'm looking forward to that.
Cool.
Yep.
And then there is a shotgun video with us.
Yes,
Coming out tomorrow.
it's coming out tomorrow. Excellent. So there's
Coming out
one
tomorrow,
with
so
me and
stay
Dr.
tuned, everybody.
Sherman. Yeah,
I hadn't heard of that.
well, it's because you weren't invited.
Give me a sneak peek. What's up?
Well, let's just say it's for
Adults.
who are either of Hebrew ethnicity
Uh-huh.
or thrifty folks.
All right, because you didn't Tim didn't line up with that first half. You
He
know,
is definitely thrifty.
but he is for sure thrifty.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I got some Hebrew in my background. What the hell's wrong with y'all?
Don't try and put it together.
He's got more holes in his underwear than a 5-pound block of Swiss cheese.
Wow.
He looks like he's been attacked by a flock full of moths.
Wow.
Nope.
So
I
anyway.
wanted to throw something else out there, but I'm kind of reluctant to do it in the company that I'm with.
Don't do
Oh,
it.
come
Then
on.
don't.
I was just going to pay you a
Go
compliment.
for it.
No.
Dana, stop
Well,
him.
here,
Stop him,
what I
Dana.
mean by
Dana,
is
just stop him.
Dana back here. I'm doing a lot of reading and on this ATF stuff and all this stuff, especially with the pistol braces. All I would say, in my limited knowledge, is guys don't freak out because the Fifth Circuit Court's already ruled that their bump stock bullcrap was bullcrap. It wasn't legal, and so I'm hoping that before this thing goes into effect, there's going to be TRO, temporary restraining order, on it from some court high enough to make the ATF stop. So, guys, all I'm saying is just don't freak out about it yet. Give it some time. There's going to be enough lawsuits against this thing that the court, some court's going to have to hear it. Hopefully, and I know how it kind of works. It goes through the circuit courts, and it has to take a long time before it gets back to the Supreme Court if they do rule on it. But I'm hoping that the circuit courts see the writing on the wall and just don't just pull the reins in on ATF. And that's just my take. And again, I'm not a lawyer, and we've got a very smart one back here and knows a hell of a lot more than I do about even what's going on with it. But I just have to believe that there's going to be something that stops it before it goes into effect. So don't freak out and start selling shit, destroying shit, and and if you want to register, I'm not telling anybody anything to do with the law. If you guys want to register your thing with ATF, knock yourself out. I've got no opinion on that, but just don't freak out about it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's my 2
Danny,
cents
you got
on that.
a hot take to add on to that?
I foresee much litigation and an opinion written by Kavanaugh that'll resolve a lot of this.
My only concern is this, and this is just a pure hypothetical. Hypothetical means that it's just an idea, folks, okay? It doesn't mean that it's... And I am not an attorney. That's my attorney.
But you came here with one.
But I came here with one. I drove him here. I'm actually his driver. So anyway, my concern about this amnesty brace deal is that, like, let's say you go, oh, I'm going to run down there and get this free tax stamp. So now you do it. But let's say that the paper stacks up past 120 days, and now you're outside the 120 days before your paperwork gets processed. What does that look like? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of that kind of stuff that makes me wonder, and it's a government process, and you know.
Right. Well,
I don't expect miracles.
Right.
Here,
Well,
so.
again, if it's taking them 9 months to something like that, with the number of people that are doing the process, the standard stuff they got going now for suppressors and everything else, if the numbers that they say are true, 300 million plus.
Yeah.
If they got deluged with all that crap, what are they going to do with it?
Well, I think
They
it's
can't hire
30.
enough
It's
people.
like 40 million. 40 million.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
but if they get hit with all that, there's no way. Like, they couldn't go to the court. They
Fast
might
enough.
do a TRO on themselves because they say we can't process it if you turned it in.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm taking it on.
I'm still waiting on my Form
Listening
1
to Dana, saying
for that bad
it's got to go through the court system. It's going to go through the court system.
Yeah.
And somebody smarter than somebody's going to put a monkey wrench in it and stop this nonsense.
Sure.
Is what I'm hoping.
I was
So,
taking you serious.
let's get off the legal
Okay,
shit
good.
for a second.
My bad. I'm sorry.
And I was just gonna say that I really enjoyed your chamber loading video the other day,
Thank you.
and I think that's a very underutilized
Yeah.
skill for people with both manually operated and semi-automatic shotguns is chamber loading, because everybody says, oh, I can chamber load all day long. And then you go, okay, cool, go ahead and do it. And then they're like, they look like a monkey fucking a football. Like,
And then when you add stress to it, that's the big thing is people, they try to do it like the 3-gun guys do it, where they're doing these quad loads and shit like that. Somebody's shooting back at you. I want to see you quad load a shotgun. I want to see that.
plus, where are you going to wear that chest rig
I
if you're
know.
naked in your bed?
Yeah, I know.
You're going to be like, oh, hang on.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you ain't going to do it.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to doing more of those, and like Sherman said, the one me and him did together is coming out. So hopefully watch that one. I enjoyed doing that one especially because of the company I had. But
We always have a good time making videos.
I know
There's one video out there that James never released that
there's several.
that
There's
Shelton
several.
Shelton. I wonder if you could get this up from the archives somehow, because I know the video was shot, but it was this rifle. I'm not going to say who made it because they ended up making it right eventually. But anyway, I was preparing for a velociraptor hunt, and we had this rifle that we were going to zero with some of this Hornady Lever Evolution, 300 grain 4570, which is a real popper. And of course, then Chris Pratt comes out from Jurassic World, and he is using a 4570. I did it first. I'm from Washington State, and I'm older than him. So my idea first. So anyway, Tim and I and James were out there trying to zero this gun. And I mean, not to like toot my own horn, but I'm a pretty good shooter, and I can usually zero something in about 3 rounds. Well, 3 boxes later, we're literally standing there, and there's a really good clip, and it goes something like this. If I'm James, and James is like, I just want to start off by apologizing to name of the rifle company, also Hornady Ammunition, also 511, also Surefire, also NSR Kydex. Like, he went through about 35 things to apologize, and we couldn't get the rifle to zero. Turns out, when I sent it in for warranty service, it had a non-concentric bore. So, which meant that, the hole at one end, went diagonal through the tube and came out the other end. Because I told him, I said, this thing will group, except it groups 4 feet high and, probably like 3.5 feet off of vertical from where I'm actually aiming it. And they were like, huh. And then they called me back and said, yeah, you're right. And they fixed it in 2 weeks, put a new barrel in it. So it works now. But that video is out there, and it's 25 minutes long. And I guess, maybe we could condense it down, put the Benny Hill music in there.
Yeah,
and then
What I remember being funny about it is, like, James give me the damn gun. Like, you're shooting and you can't get it 0. Give me that gun. And he
And he
gets
tried
over
it.
and he tried it and it didn't work.
You touch off a 45-70 sitting down from the bench is horrible. You shoot it standing up, it's not that bad because it's your body moves a little bit, but you get in behind that thing and you shoot it and you're locked into a rest. That thing kicks the hell out of you because it's all going straight into your shoulder. And I drove back to Nashville like with numb fingers because I couldn't feel my hands or my right hand because my shoulder got the hell knocked out. I had a pretty good bruise by the next day, but I enjoyed it and it's fun and we had some good jokes that day. So maybe we can dig that thing up and
That
find it.
might be on Liber TV.
Is it?
Have you looked for it on there?
I haven't.
Because I believe we put everything we had in backlog on Liber TV.
Okay. Well, that was one I remember James saying, well, this thing's never getting fucking released or something like that. So.
That might be gone.
Okay.
Well, there's another one out there where me and Jay did that he said the same thing about, and I'm not going to tell you the subject matter of the video, but he saw it. We did the video.
Oh, I remember.
And he, I guess Sheldon took it to
Watched
him,
it.
and he just walks in there and goes, no. That's all he says, no. So, and even if Sheldon can dig it up, I wouldn't release it out of respect for James. We're not releasing, so don't ask. But he just said no. There's some out there that were kind of,
I've got a good shot question. Lewis, what was your biggest ick from shot? The whole grumpy old man making complaints. What was your?
Are you talking about the donut place?
I'm talking about, dude, you had complaints for days. Pick one. No, it started to be a thing. I was like, my shot show ick is this.
Yeah. The absolute, the mindless safety violations, like, those were the biggest thing for me because again there's no like safe direction. There's all the boots. I mean, there's no great way to do it, but like if you're standing there, there's no reason for me to go like this.
I'll see you Saturday.
Muzzle, if
I'm
I
gonna
can
be right back up
go
there.
like
I'm going to
that,
house. I got to get
right?
someone to be back up here in a minute.
So that was a big one. I had a little bit of an issue at a Dunkin' Donuts because they were like all kiosk ordering.
Uh-huh. You got in a fight with somebody at the
didn't have
Dunkin'
the
Donuts?
option. I got frustrated with the kiosk itself.
He was being
and
passive
the
aggressive
human
towards the
behind
kiosk, so the ladies would actually help him.
Oh.
Is that at Dunkin' Donuts? Is
Yeah,
that what he's
well,
talking about?
like-
the old man yelling at a cloud moment?
Yeah.
The old man shouts
Dang.
at cloud.
Yeah.
Listen,
Listen, Linda, listen.
I was just like, there's no option for no ice in here. And at that point, the girl who had ignored our existence for 3 minutes standing behind the counter turned and said, well, you can just see that you don't want ice in it. And I said, wouldn't it be amazing if I could tell you I wanted coffee? And
Well,
so
Lewis,
that
that's
was
what
a
you
little
get
bit
for
of
buying coffee
a
at
moment.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Right?
Oh yeah, that
Oh,
crabby
I'm
old
just-
bag
I was
who
just
stole the
passenger.
American Gun. Yeah, this lady walks over. We're doing a live stream at the end of I think it was day 3, maybe, and we're on there doing the live stream. And this hotel
Yeah.
employee walks over and she's like, "Babies aren't allowed here." And there is like a nursing mother's booth beyond that point that she says babies aren't allowed in that area. And then she's trying to make us all leave that part of the Venetian. But Lewis is a suave motherfucker. And he was like, well, just be 5 more minutes. And he worked his magic and she left us alone.
It was that razor fade that he had going on there. Looked really crisp. Well, let's see. What else? Anything else?
Yeah.
Speaking of
Yes.
razor fade,
We got lots of
if you
classes
need your
coming up.
haircut
You're
in the
teaching, you're
Nashville area.
teaching.
Yep.
This weekend, bunch of stuff going on here.
Yep.
So, as I'm fond of saying, come, bring someone, send someone, come back, get on the schedule. We got, there will be, have we announced the thing?
Nope, not yet.
Okay. Some cool shit coming.
Yeah.
The
So-
Yeah.
the absolute coolest thing we did while at SHOT Show.
Yeah.
And as soon as we can, we're going to tell you guys about it.
Oh, and one other thing coming up, guys. This Saturday night at 7 p.m.
Yep.
we have a special show called Saturday Night Lies. There's going to be some special guests involved, so come on out for that. If
I
you're,
may be here drinking.
Yep.
Yep.
And so come on out for that Saturday night, and you'll see some crazy stuff.
We
Yeah.
got our Idaho classes on the schedule. You guys were asking for immediate action medical. It's happening. And at a different time than the advanced stuff, so you don't have to pick and choose if you've already been through fighting pistol.
That was the biggest complaint I got.
Really?
How we used
And
to
we
do
fixed it.
because it was always we would bring medical up there, but we'd always do it after fighting pistol again.
Oh.
And they were like, "So you're telling me I have to pick between
One or
medical and
two,
advanced
sure.
fighting
Yeah.
pistol?" So what we're doing this time is fighting pistol and medical on the same day,
Okay.
followed by advanced fighting pistol.
Cool.
So those guys that have trained with us a bunch up there these
Yeah.
past 3 years, they
Get
can
some-
jump in
get
to
some medical training.
Yep, and then
And
take
then-
it.
And it's all on the website schedule calendar, so you can sign up now.
Yeah.
But for real, the February classes with that Sherman's coming in for fighting rifle on the 25th and 26th. Not only that, but Don Edwards will be
Yep.
in that fighting rifle class. So if you
My
guys
old buddy Don. It's going to
You
be a
guys-
lot of dad jokes in that class.
yeah. We
Come
have,
on out if you like
That's
dad
gonna be a
jokes,
fun
because
weekend.
Don and I
That's gonna be a very
wrote
fun weekend.
about 85% of every dad joke that you guys know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we've got the shotgun class that we're putting up in Ohio. So any of you guys close to that area, it's Central Ohio, we're being hosted out there for a shotgun class.
Are you going to sing the song, the state song of Ohio?
I'm not.
Ohio, Ohio, round on the end, high in the middle. Ohio, Ohio.
Nope, don't know that one.
I only know Tennessee state songs.
Oh,
I was in a chorus, and in the 4th grade, we went and did a record where Johnny Cash was part of the record, but we didn't get to meet him because he was in the hospital.
oh God.
We were supposed to get to meet him. I was kind of excited about that,
Yeah.
and then we didn't because he was in the
Hey,
hospital.
Dana, are those new?
Your tattoos.
Yeah, we did them on the way here.
Yes.
Very nice.
I'm good at multitasking. I've got that auto drive thing.
Look, and then we have, so first off, only one lawyer I know of coming to Saturday Night Lies. And then, yes, of course, every night pistol on March 1st and 2nd, along with the long gun on March 3rd and 4th. I will be taking those classes. Yes, I will be taking those classes.
And we've also got John Farnham coming in February. I got to see him at SHOT Show.
Yeah.
Like, we got
Yeah.
to see, I think, just about all of the instructors. Just about. Not every single one. But we met up with Costa, Don Edwards, John Farnham.
Was
We-
Lovell there?
We didn't see Lovell. We saw
Paul.
Clinton
We met
Heidi's
Paul.
people.
Yeah. Clinton Heidi.
What was it, Lewis?
We met Paul. John's
Yeah, Paul
head
Markle.
of training, and Paul Perkins,
And Paul Perkins.
warrior poet.
Cool.
Yep.
We run
So-
out of time.
Okay.
No, this is an extended live stream tonight.
Oh.
So,
What?
As long as,
as long as y'all can
they
leave
wanna
at
keep
8
going,
if you
yeah.
like. But we promised extra, like, the nitty-gritty questions.
Okay.
More shot
Hey
show.
man, yeah, we're gonna keep this thing going as long as you guys
Yeah.
want us to.
Y'all saying goodbye like this isn't a special extended live stream?
Like
We-
it isn't in the
It
title.
is. Somebody asked about, like, what's my favorite 9mm revolver. There isn't one. I'd say a Ruger LCR is a good choice. Ruger SP101 is a good choice. They do make a Smith & Wesson 940 that was a good one that was actually all stainless steel frame, but those are kind of hard to find. But yeah,
Do they
I'd
have?
say LCR.
Do they have like a shim?
A shim.
I don't know what you do in
Something
your
that
free
you could
time,
shoot
Lewis, but we're
9mm.
talking about 9mm revolvers. You're talking about shims.
Yeah.
But
You can't. I'm
but
trying to
they
shoot that
no,
at
they
John.
don't.
Moon
You have
clips
to
and
use
stuff?
moon clips to extract them, or you have to use like a pencil in your pocket. But there is a trick that I'll show you in person, Lewis, about how you can actually punch the empties out without having to use a moon clip. And if you come to my revolver class sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, I'll show you too.
Should get that revolver class back on the schedule.
Yeah, we're gonna get a revolver class
Hint.
coming on the schedule at some point when the sun comes back out, and then also what was the other one? Scout rifle class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Baby Kiss 308 is the MSRP for it. I talked to them after we put out the video. The issue was, guys, like, we had X many hours to get you as much coverage as possible, and if we would have spent time talking to each person about the cost of their stuff, we would have given you 3 or 4 less videos total. And we thought that you guys could easily use your Google Foo for the price if we just brought you the cool product.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, bearded man there in the front.
Do it.
Hey, Doc House. So I saw something. Didn't see it in person at SHOT, but I've seen videos of it.
Yeah.
Basically like an AR-15 lever gun.
Yeah.
So it takes PMags.
Yep,
but
I've seen it.
Has the lower receiver.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
I think that's a cool concept. I think that was like a one-off that is not going to be available till like 24. I think I read, and I feel like it's made by Bond Arms.
Yep.
And Bond Arms, for 2-shot Derringers, I think they make like, if you want to bet your life on a 2-shot Derringer, or you have like one of those cool things like in Django Unchained where you can like have it pop out of your sleeve. I would probably rock that. But yeah, I think that's a cool concept. Like states that are hobbled by stupid gun laws and limitations, a lever action that you can run effectively and quickly that runs off of AR mags. Heck, why not? It's pretty expensive, but anything that's cool is gonna be expensive. It's novel. It's like a new idea, So anybody that's run like a lever gun extensively in a tactical type class, your thumbs are going to be really sore after 200 rounds. You're not going to have that issue if you're using something that's magazine fed. So yeah, there's been a couple of pump 223 AR mag feeds, says Thad. There's actually a really old one that was a combination 12 gauge and 5.56 gun called the Crossfire that was like back in the late 80s or the early 90s. And I feel like for some reason that it was maybe featured in Predator 2, but I think that I might be conflating that with the Spaz 15, but maybe. So, yeah.
And also that pivot gun you were talking about.
Yeah.
John Farnham was at the booth same time we were, and he was very interested in it as well.
He loves all the stuff that you can put into a tennis racket bag, because you can tell when you look at John that he plays a lot of tennis. And you wouldn't think, but he's quite nimble. I've seen him, and he has a hell of a backstroke. So, yeah, I still think that it's cool. I do like the idea of like stowable guns. Like James and I did a video a year ago on that Ruger PC carbine. That runs off of Glock mags, and I love that thing. I think that that's a fantastic, full power, gun that you can literally take 50 state legal with Glock 26 mags, and it holds 10 rounds, and you're good to go, and it stows to a really small spot, or really small envelope. Oh yeah. The 10 millimeter, my M&P 10 millimeter. James and I did a video that exact same day actually on the M&P 10 millimeter, and it runs very well. Thank you. I really enjoy it. You shoot 9 millimeter like 500 or 600 rounds, and then you put that 10 millimeter in your hand, which feels pretty close to the 9 millimeter full size, and then you're just like, oh, now this is a horse of a different color.
See, I don't think I've ever shot a 10 millimeter.
Oh, I'll bring it out.
Okay.
It creates smoke.
Like
like if you shoot a steel target in rapid succession, you can knock it over.
Yeah.
It's like a real gun. I'm very happy with it. I have had zero issues with it. I love it. I'll keep that thing forever.
My story behind the 10 millimeter is Thad actually brought one to a fighting pistol class.
Yeah.
And I was picking on him anytime he went like outside of the black, right? It's like, oh, it's that that recoil on that 10 millimeter, right? He lets me shoot it into the class. I was like, oh, this does, this is a noticeable difference.
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
like, damn, I didn't even hit the berm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the full power 10 millimeter was designed to replicate 41 Magnum capabilities. 41 Magnum is more powerful than 357 Magnum, not as powerful as a 44 Magnum, but you're getting pretty far up there in terms of kinetic energy, and it holds 16 rounds, like 15 in one in the mag. Like, holy smokes, Like I said, I would use that as a backup if I was going to some place where four-legged game, and I didn't have my dinosaur killer with me, or if I did have my dinosaur killer with me, I'd use that as my backup. But I wouldn't feel the least bit, unprepared carrying that like as a daily carry. I mean, it's a big gun. You got to be a large mammal to, hide that thing. But I mean, it's 1911 size, so as long as you can do that, you good.
You talking about the capacity made me remember another cool thing from SHOT was Canix, the MC9 or whatever.
Yeah, those look cool. That's the little one?
That's the first little
like
gun
the
that I would
26
be
size?
I would be excited to shoot.
Yeah.
Because I've only had experience with little guns in class, you know, and it's always something that, like, as soon as I put my hands on it to try to, like, help a student with something, I'm like, I can get a Glock 19 for you.
Yeah.
But like,
that's one of the things that a lot of people don't appreciate about small guns, whether it's like a SIG P365 or even a Glock 26, guns that you can't put your entire grip, your ring finger, your middle finger, and your pinky onto, even if it's just your ring finger and your middle finger. Well, when you go to do like a tap rack, you're tapping your hand. You're not tapping the floor plate of the magazine anymore. So you have to have some different techniques, and if you have big hands, it's actually worse. So there's certain things that you can do that are like counterintuitive. If I showed it to you, you'd be like, oh damn, like that's a really good way to do it. But like, it's one of those things where if you didn't know, you wouldn't ever think of it. But like a guy, Chuck Haggard, is kind of the wizard coming up with that sort of stuff, and I've done his class, and I got a whole bunch of good stuff out of that. So I'd be glad to show anybody that carries one of those small guns that. But yeah, there's the crazy thing about small gun technology right now is, I wrote an article a few years back for my website called I think I called it like the 21st century J-frame, the SIG P365. And then I was like, just kidding. It's actually the Ruger LCR. That's the 21st century J-frame. And then I talked about like why the 365 was cool. And I said back then, this was, I think 3 years ago, the problem that this creates is now you have this magazine technology where you can have this little tiny magazine that holds 10 rounds. Well, the deal is, if we make that magazine taller, then what the heck would be the purpose in carrying like a Glock 19 if you can carry a SIG X macro? Because now I can carry a gun that's an inch thick, that is big enough, that carries more than a Glock 19 does. I can put it in a duty holster if I had to. So what's the point? Like, why are we having big guns anymore? So it kind of just comes down to like feel. So, if I gave you a Glock 19, of course you don't really count. So you're kind of like an outlier because you've been shooting a Glock 19 since you were a child. Thanks to James. But like, if you're the kind of person that has no experience and you're like, holy smokes, this thing feels like a 2x4 when I grab onto it. If I put that SIG X macro in your hand, you're like, whoa.
I will say I've been shooting a Glock 19 that had a grip reduction since I was a child.
Yeah, with the row bar.
Yeah, the row bar grip reduction.
Which doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, they don't. They went out of business.
I didn't even, like...
Yeah.
But I'm lucky enough, like, my hands are small enough for the Shield Plus, all of that stuff. Like, I will occasionally pinch this little piece in between the mag, but I'm getting it in there and seated.
Yeah, I pinch my hand even with a Glock 19. Like if I try and do a tap rack, or sometimes if the gun's warm or my hands are warm, when I eject the mag, it won't fall free because it catches on my hand.
We got the gentleman in the back. What's up, Lewis?
So
you, the handsome Greek in the front.
The big thing for me with those guns, like, if I need to start taking any of these fingers off, like you said, in order to get that tap, now I do connect that magazine, and basically I'm holding on to the gun with this.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I've seen
Shocker!
I've
With the
seen a
shocker,
number
yeah.
Shocker!
of shields.
Hit him with the shocker.
Yeah. I've seen a number of shields when they
I don't know what
try
that
and go
means. I don't know.
shocker tap
Shocker
rack
to the pink
and
one.
I'm t-
Oh, I
and
was
they
like,
just fall on the floor.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's the last thing you
So,
want is to
That's
have
another
your
like big one.
have
for
your
me.
tap rack
Yeah.
bang turn into a garage sale.
Tap flop. Yeah. Tap flop.
Yeah.
Scratch.
Tap rack. Kablooey! There goes the floor plate. So
Dad, you've
And
never
then
offered to
someone
let me
asked
shoot
about
it.
the Glock 47.
Yeah. Dude, like, people have been hating on it
Is the
online.
47 worth it?
Everybody's been asking for the
up to you
specifications that the
guys.
Glock 47 offers, but now they're pissed because it
didn't offer what they wanted.
didn't offer it.
Hey, nobody asked me.
Like,
I buy one gun every 12 years.
everybody was just like, man, I wish I could have
Yeah.
a 19 frame
Like-
with a 17 barrel. And it's like, wish granted, but that's not what I meant. Like, I wanted it to just work with what I already had. Not like, come on, guys.
Oh, you see what happened there, Kayla? Was some people are cunts.
Classic.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
And
it
at
doesn't
the end
matter
of the
what
day,
you want.
the
like
coolest thing-
if you want something, you know, some company is going to make it. But for all, you know, out of 100 people that wanted that thing made, there's going to be 50 people that are like, well, I can't believe they did that, and I really wish
Yeah.
that it came with
As
this,
a-
that, or the other
A
thing.
wise lawyer told me one time, if you were walking around handing out 50, some cunt would complain it wasn't a C note.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Lewis? The coolest thing was what?
Yep. But the performance trigger, that Glock
Yep.
performance
I
trigger,
agree.
like that was legit.
My only concern with that is it makes it lighter than it is with a minus connector. So if it's lighter than it is with a minus connector, that's kind of pushing the margin for safety. And I also don't like that they call it the performance trigger, because what they should call it is people who wang on the trigger. Because, you know, there's nothing wrong with the standard 5.5 Glock trigger that comes standard in every Glock.
I think
since,
it's
you know,
I think
the Gen
it's same weight.
2s. It's actually less.
Are you sure? I thought that they said it was less too.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think it was less.
Yeah, I want to say it's like it's
is it
slightly
4?
under
4
4
and a
or
half?
right around 4. And I think that you know, like 5 is probably the floor of where you want to be, maybe even 5.5. So why'd you put those shoes on? You got a podiatry problem? You going to hibachi?
For you guys who can't see, Tim just walked in with some Air Jesus.
He's got some Air Jesus shoes on.
He's headed to the sauna.
The community
Tim's
showers.
gonna start throwing buckets from way downtown.
Way of the shotgun. In 5 days, my feet have been wet. I'm letting them boys dry out. Okay.
Well, thanks for the smell.
Dry out.
Know what that smell is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Smells like wet hay,
Damn.
doesn't it? Yeah. So anyway, somebody asked about the M&P 5.7. Hey, I'm an M&P guy. I enjoy them, and I have zero experience with a 5.7. So if you're one of those people that has a 5.7 and you come out to Camden, we can talk turkey and
Yep.
I'll let you shoot the 10 millimeter. You let me shoot the 5.7. We just aren't going to shoot anything steel we have because it probably do shit up.
Well, I can tell you about the old 5.7s. They don't do retention at all. The 2 we had in Class Gym.
Oh, from retention shinks because they got too much slide velocity and not enough resistance. Yeah, yeah,
That's the old ones. Who made they come up with those?
yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah,
Tim was just
exactly.
limp
You know,
wristing
so
it.
you can put, you know, any light trigger in a gun, and it's going to
Damn.
make up for somebody that's got, you know, a 10 MOA shake or, you know, a 35 MOA flinch. But like, you can also, if you've got somebody that has decent trigger control and they can maintain, you know, a good sight picture and align the sights wherever they press the trigger and they press it smooth and clean, that's where the shot's going to go. So let's see, the Taurus did all that with the G3. Yeah, Taurus is coming out with a lot of good products. They have a guy working there that's a friend of mine named Caleb Giddings. I don't know if you guys
Oh,
met
that's
him.
who we did the video with.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And Caleb's a good dude. I've shot in classes with him before. I feel kind of bad because like one of the first things I ever said to him was, you know, I went up to him and he's probably like about as tall as you are.
Oh,
you know,
he's
and
my
I was like,
height.
I was like, "What's up, man? Sherman House." And he's like, "Hey, Caleb Giddings." I was like, "What's up, man, I thought you'd be a lot taller. And because he's kind of like one of those guys that, he's got like a really big voice and a lot of people listen to him, and he's got a good venue to speak from, and he's a phenomenal shooter, and he's an amazing revolver shooter, like right at the point of legendary. I think he's one of the first people that's gotten a turbo pin in Gabe White's class with a revolver, which
Very
is a class
cool.
that's made for pistols, and so Caleb went to work for them, in some type of consulting deal, and he's really improved a lot of their products, and Taurus has changed management and their factory, and their,
Come here, bud.
kind of like trying to change a lot of their, history. Like so here's the whole story with Tauruses. We're going to get out in the weeds here, folks. Why not? Is back in the day, the Brazilian army contracted Smith & Wesson and Beretta to make pistols for their police and their army. And they made it on Beretta and Smith & Wesson machinery that was licensed. So like, I pay you a few $1 million, you let me keep the machines in Brazil. I make the guns, but I stamp Taurus on them.
Okay.
And I changed just little things, like little tiny details. So they did that, and those guns were all legit. They were literally like Smith & Wesson J-frame, K-frame, and N-frame copies. And they were popular like when I was in high school and college, and it was kind of like, my first full caliber handgun was a nickel-plated Taurus PT92 AF, and the reason I carried it, ladies and gentlemen, was because I liked Richard Grieco on 21 Jump Street. Kill me. I wanted to be like Booker, so I got that gun, and it was great big huge 15-shot 9mm, but the difference is instead of having a slide-mounted safety and decocker, it's on the frame.
Okay.
So I had that thing, worked great, and then at some point Taurus kind of like fell down and started doing some weird stuff, and the guns were really quirky and odd, and they
curve.
There was that curve thing, and there was just some really funky ideas that were like interesting thinking and cool, like proof of concept sort of deal, but they never like were fully executed to a point where you could say that they were reliable. So anyway, fast forward to now, and they're really putting they're listening to customers and saying like, oh, you guys want like a old school 6-shot, basically detective special size ultralight revolver, that you can get for less than $500. How about we'll make it less than $400? And it comes with grips that you can use, like that kind of stuff. Like that's cool. Like that's, those are guns for like real working people. And even for the normies out there that don't do all the crazy stuff that we do, you could get them that gun and a modicum of training, and that thing could sit in their, in a tube sock in their underwear drawer for the next 50 years. And if somebody came cracking through the front door, you could pick that thing up, and you're probably going to get 6 rounds out of it.
That was actually one of the spiels that Caleb gave about those revolvers.
Yeah.
Was like they stick it in a drawer. And David, was that the other guy that we spoke to at Taurus?
Yes.
He was talking to us. He was just like, so check it out. We know Taurus used to suck. We're trying to change that.
Yeah, and I think they're really doing a good job.
Don't count Taurus out, because
No.
I really think that they
No.
are trying to make some big moves in the industry.
Yeah, and like the Taurus 856 executive, that whole executive series is badass. Caleb's coming out working with them to do that same, I think it's 856 and a 605, so there's a 357 5-shot and a 38 6-shot that both are red dot sight capable if you're one of those people that likes to do the whole target focus
the
thing.
Toro line.
Yeah, Toro, yeah. And so there's a lot of cool stuff that they're doing, and I think that's a good thing. So here's the thing about revolvers that a lot of people don't realize is that revolvers do really well for long-term use, like where you're just putting a gun up and you're not going to do any preventive maintenance at all. So you keep the thing dry, like it's got like a good coat of oil on it, and chances are better than average. And it happens all the time where, some old man dies, and then when they're cleaning out his stuff, they find, a Smith & Wesson, pre-Chief Special in his underwear drawer that was loaded in 1955, and that's where it's sat ever since. The thing is, you take the ammo out of it, and it's beautiful. It's about the only thing they'll do is pick up the impressions from the socks that it was laid on, of the fabric. So try that with most semi-automatic pistols with that same thing, and you're going to find the magazine's not going to work. So if the magazine doesn't work, what happens? The pistol doesn't work. So the magazine is almost always the primary failure point in a semi-automatic pistol. In a revolver, your primary failure point is usually something related to a stuck case or debris behind the extractor star that prevents the cylinder from turning. So two things have to happen with a double action revolver to be able to work. The hammer has to come back and the cylinder has to rotate. If you prevent either of those things from happening with a thumb brake or with a holster that fits really, really firmly on the cylinder, it's not going to turn. And that's what makes double action revolvers unique. So a lot of times, you see now with all this Taurus stuff coming out, they're making these cool holsters and they have open trigger guards. Everybody's like, those aren't safe. You have to have a trigger guard covered and stuff. The whole reason that they made those holsters back in the day was when you put that gun into that holster, it is so tight on that cylinder. You could put that gun in that holster, do it unloaded, of course. Don't do it loaded. And pull that trigger as hard as you can. And I promise you that if we brought Lewis right here with his mighty hands and his captains of crush grip, he could not pull the trigger on that thing. Because that holster is fitted to that gun, and even though the trigger guard is out dangling in the wind, you could slip whatever. You could put the biggest stick in there and fall off your four-wheeler at 45 miles an hour, and it is not going to let that thing go off. So double action revolvers are cool. I'm looking forward to teaching a revolver class out here, and the scary thing about this stuff is it's like any kind of history. Whether we're talking about philosophy, whether we're talking about world history, whether we're talking about civics or U.S. history, with the things that we know about revolvers, which were common when I was, in the cadet business and then in the armored car business in the 90s, all of these tricks and all of these tips and all of this history, if we don't keep repeating it, it's going to die. And then people are going to be like, well, I'm not quite sure how to use this thing, and I can't quite open this cylinder on this, And there's cops out there on the road right now, and I know because I've had them in classes, that I've handed them a J-frame before, and they look at it like it's one of the lobsters on Lewis's wall. Like they're like,
yeah.
It's and which the fire comes out of this end? Yeah, and they don't know how to open it. They don't know how to push on the ejector rod to get the rounds out. So, there's a lot of things that you can do. And there was you were talking some of your gripes earlier, Lewis, and I don't often gripe, but I'm going to gripe right now. There was a YouTuber that did a video about the Taurus 856. And this is a pistol guy, okay? And this is also a YouTuber. This isn't a training guy. This isn't somebody who's a professional firearms operator. This is just a hobbyist who somehow has a big YouTube following. Anyway, he's shooting this gun. He takes it out to the range, and he takes it out of the case and doesn't do a thing to it and proceeds to put 600 rounds through it. And then he's really surprised when the crane screw falls out the side. Well, when I was on the police department and we had revolvers, you would go out to the range, and here's your range table, right, where you put your ammo and you've got your gear out here. And in this little Folgers coffee can right here, there's a toothbrush, an aluminum rod to punch out empties or cases that got stuck under the extractor, and then you have, I can't remember who makes them, maybe Smith & Wesson made it. But it was a wood-handled screwdriver that's about $250 on Brownells that exactly fits that screw. And what you're supposed to do is, it even says it on the side of the coffee can, is tighten your crane screw every 50 rounds. So if you shot 50 rounds, you took the brush, you brushed off the front of the cylinder, you pushed the ejector rod, clean underneath the ejector star and where the chamber mouths are. Then you punch out any crap if you have to, through the bore if it's really leaded. And then tighten that damn screw. And yeah, you could put Loctite on if you want, but it's not really necessary, because who in the hell shoots a revolver 600 rounds without tightening the damn screw? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense at all. It's it just, it's just silly. So that's the problem when you have this.
This is what happens when you let Sherman get a
Yeah.
fucking Red Bull at the liquor store before you come on live stream.
It was two Bang energy
Yeah.
drink.
Love it.
Okay.
You just gotta-
But the thing is if you have people that are not experts posing as experts that have no operational use, history, or capabilities with these things, and they're talking about them and comparing them to semi-automatic pistols, it's silly. You don't drive a car with an automatic transmission the same way that you drive a car with a manual transmission. Revolvers and semi-automatic pistols are the same way. It's a completely different manual of arms. It's a completely different set of operations, and all of the fighting that you do with a revolver, the techniques are not analogous to a pistol. You know, if somebody tells me they're a revolver expert and they're holding the gun like this, and they're like, I'm gonna eject the rounds, and they open the cylinder and they're hitting it like this without turning, the muzzle up
Using
so
gravity.
that it's using gravity, don't listen to anything they say. Like just look at them and then walk away.
Well, look, I have it on good authority that a fighting revolver class would be easy to put on the schedule. So,
If you want to hear me amble on
yeah,
for 8 to
save it
16
for the
hours
class, dude.
about this kind of stuff, I'm glad to do it. And there's plenty more where that came from. So, yeah, I'm down to do it. So, yeah, back in the 80s, I carried a Smith &
Yeah,
well, I
screw
didn't carry a
those
Smith & Wesson
clouds.
19 because I couldn't afford one. I always thought that was like the
I
Cadillac
don't know what you carried.
681.
Come on, let a brother have a.
What were you
were
gonna
you
say?
gonna guess
A Model
681?
I had a Model 64. Yeah, the stainless version of
Yeah.
Model 10. Yeah.
So, what's the coolest thing you got to do at SHOT Show?
Hang out with you.
Oh,
Look at that.
that is
Look at that.
That's so lame. Lame. So
I told
lame.
him it was kind of surreal because we were recognized by people just from the YouTube channel, and that I live in Camden. That's not a normal thing to be like, hey, can we have your picture with you? But then at lunch, me and Joey were walking, and these two guys started waving us over, and I was like, you on our table? I was like, and I'm back down, way all the way down.
They're like, no, we're talking to people behind you.
Random bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm back. But coolest thing I got to do at SHOT, I ate an In-N-Out burger in the turret of a tank.
Ooh. Okay, so let me ask you this:
Bucket
Are you
list.
have you eaten at Whataburger before?
Yes.
And you know how people in Texas say it,
Yep.
Whataburger.
Yeah.
Yep.
They
It's
say
not-
that
Oh, I
same thing
started
in
a whole
Florida,
debate
Whataburger.
on the live stream.
Well, so what do you like better, Whataburger or
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out? Really?
Although Five Guys crushes both of them.
No.
No, I disagree.
No.
If you're, it's a different burger. It's a smash burger. In-N-Out isn't a smash burger.
Yeah, but
And you can get fresh jalapeno.
Five Guys started in DC,
Did it?
as they say down
Oh.
here. DC.
Well,
I
listen,
love
if
how
we
he
ever go on a
comes to
road trip,
Tennessee
Sherman, we're going to stop
and
at
makes fun of the way
Whataburger. 'Cause I
we
never
speak
could
here.
stop with Jay with me. Jay won't go to Whataburger.
Oh, I always stop as soon as I cross that line in Texarkana. I'm going.
Whataburger.
Yeah, it's like 10 miles off the freeway, but I don't care.
Tennessee
Troy
is
says
then we've got 'em now.
Whataburger sucks.
Who said that?
Who said that?
Troy.
No, Whataburger's good.
Troy said that?
In-N-Out is just better.
Now, In-N-Out
Hey,
was pretty
hey,
cool.
Troy Williams. Yeah, hey, fuck that guy. No, get him out of here.
Now Freddy's is pretty good because you can get some frozen custard at Freddy's.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm talking
Freddy-
about.
Freddy-
Nothing
yeah,
like
I
washing
remember
down a
custard.
burger with some frozen
I've never
custard.
had
I ate at a burger place last week in D.C. when I was up there for a meeting with this other dentist, and it was called Lucky Buns, and it was like a robot tiki bar
I want a shirt
that
from
that had
there.
burgers, and it was so good.
Wear a pair of
I mean,
pants,
you know, if
Well,
you pay
I-
$25 for a cheeseburger
I'm
with
taking
bacon
my
on
boy
it, should be
someplace
good.
tomorrow he's never been.
Where?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to Murfreesboro to get rid of the bikes. We got some bikes to get worked on.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to a Thai restaurant. He's never ate Thai.
Never had time.
Here's the coolest thing about Thai
What
food.
time
If
is
you,
this?
what time is that?
He's in charge of everything.
We're leaving
God.
after we have a meeting in the morning, 9 o'clock. We're leaving at that, so we're probably 11ish somewhere around
Which Thai restaurant?
there. The one on Church Street,
that where we
South
ate?
Church Street.
Me, you
It's
had
called
it.
Church Street
Murphy's
Thai.
No, I don't know what. I don't remember the name of it. Yes, Murfreesboro. Yeah.
Although,
It's spelled T-I-E.
Scott from South Carolina, I see you. Cookout,
It got
delicious.
it got a
Yeah.
good rating, Dana.
Wait. Hold up.
Oh,
On Cookout.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm a fan.
Has
I am
anyone ever eaten at Cookout that wasn't hammered?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is it like?
Oh, it's great.
Delicious.
You
does
can
it
The
get
only time I've
was
ever been to
fantastic.
cookout, I was absolutely
It's
blessed. I was
delicious.
blotto.
you get a good burger with 2 chicken quesadillas as a side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I mean,
It's
can also-
like,
It's
like
$6.
$4.50.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cheap.
You can also Tim and I went there one time and he got like,
It's like-
3 corn dogs and I was like, move the corn dog to your mouth, not your head to the corn dog. Stop it. People are looking at us.
Wow. All right, I got another question then about
Damn.
food. It's food related. Has anybody ever been thrown out of a fast food joint? I got thrown out of Chick-fil-A.
This isn't about food. This is about your indiscretions.
It's not what my indiscretion. It was your father's.
yeah.
He got
Chick-fil-A
kicked
is a
out
good
of he got
Christian
kicked out of
place. I'm not
Chick-fil-A.
surprised they threw you out.
Wow.
Yeah, he got kicked out of filet because the cute girl said, "My pleasure," and he said, "No, the pleasure's all on this side of the table."
I've been.
You've got a
asked to
skewed
leave
opinion
a
of me,
Waffle
Sherman. You know that?
It's so good.
Lewis says he's been asked to leave a Waffle House. Hasn't been kicked out. Just,
I was 35
just
years
ask.
old before I ever went in a Waffle House sober.
Damn.
Same.
I don't know that I've ever been in one sober.
It's a great place to go if you have some gastrointestinal distress you need to correct.
I haven't.
I'm not a huge fan of Waffle House.
Yeah, and you need to get out of there in a hurry, otherwise that bathroom's going to be smothered and covered as well.
Damn.
So,
Damn,
just saying.
guys.
Wait a minute. Dice smothered in cover.
dice. Yeah, it's going to
went
be
to
real
Buc-ee's.
dicey.
I went to my first Buc-ee's 2 weeks ago.
I've
Really?
never been. I still haven't
shit.
been.
Sweet G. Were you impressed? Duly impressed?
It was all right.
Oh, I know what I was going to say about the Thai food.
over-
so if you compare like all of the different Asian foods, you know, whether it's Vietnamese, Filipino, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Thai food, I find personally, to my skewed autism, is that Thai food is the most colorful.
Okay.
So there's always color involved, and there's always peanuts involved. Peanuts, Tim, not penis involved.
Right.
And it's delicious.
Nice.
Hey, and by
I'm
the way,
excited. I'm
A
excited.
lot of Thai
Go ahead.
places.
Spit it up. Go on.
a lot
it's
of
gonna come
Thai-
out your nose if you don't.
Oh, y'all are assholes.
A lot of Thai places, they'll ask you
How many stars?
1 to 5
Uh-huh.
hot. You need
One.
to tell them. You need to tell them 3. White people 3.
White people 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
not brown
Okay.
people 3. White people 3. If it's your first time,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Sound advice.
Because you got a long drive.
What Lewis?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
He said sound device. Yeah.
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 Yeah, like Caucasian 3.
Yeah, you light off that gastrocolic reflex, and it's
If-
over.
and if you start sweating, stop.
yeah, get more water. You're gonna need it.
Like take the rest to go.
Yeah, you'll see.
So you guys heard this story about Nate,
No.
Clarksville. You got a chicken joint there, and they got a 1
Oh,
to
yeah.
5, and the
And they make you
5
sign the waiver.
They make you sign the
Oh,
waiver
yeah,
on
yeah, I
5.
have
It's
heard
next
that
to
one.
the tattoo shop.
Yes, 2 hours after Nate ate that, we're on the side of the road, and he's doing the kimchi squat over in the grass, and I'm going, "Oh man, dude!" And he goes, "Man, I'm burning up." And James, being James, he goes, "Here's some Tums, brought a big old bottle of Tums." And
Yeah.
he just started eating them damn things. It was hilarious. But when the food went past my face,
Yeah,
I was sitting on the outside of the booth. When it went past my face, I said, "No, don't do it."
yeah,
And he had 2 out of the
That's
3
funny.
pieces and took one home with him. I said, "You're
yeah,
crazy."
yeah. If the vapors off of it make your eyes burn,
Oh, yeah.
that's a
Don't.
clue.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got more mucus
even
membranes
You got
in
to
there
sign a
Even
waiver.
if you can
Come
take
on.
it on the way in,
Yeah.
you're gonna be regretting it
on the way out.
on the
Oh,
way
yeah.
out.
Yeah,
You damn right
Yeah.
you are.
Peter's is mostly sushi. They may have some Thai, but that's like super white people Thai. Like you talking about Peter's and
oh,
Brentwood.
that's Nicole Kidman.
that's
and
Keith
Urban.
like bougie white people
Yeah, yeah.
Thai.
And from what I hear from John Willis is they have low quality chopsticks.
Damn.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Come on.
So-
Because here's the thing: is you're not ever supposed to go to a Japanese restaurant and crack open the chopsticks and then do this bullshit where you rub them together like you're some kind of magical cricket. What are you doing? Like it's insulting to the people that work there, you know, that provide those chopsticks for you, because you're insinuating by doing this stupid little cricket dance that they're giving you low quality chopsticks that would give you slivers in your mouth. And nobody wants slivers in their mouth.
What happens when they do give you low quality chopsticks?
Then you need to find a better joint.
Yeah.
You're eating substandard here.
Yeah. So John Willis rolls with like ones that are spun down from
Titanium.
crashed SR-71. A set of John Willis's chopsticks go for about $147,000 or something like that. So
Let's see.
Somebody, what did Garrett say? White Castle? Come on, dude.
Yeah, White Castle's not bad
No,
if you're looking for
White
a mini,
Castle-
mini
wait a minute,
cheese.
White
White,
Castle-
White Castle
Castle
is
or
one of
the other
those
one?
when you're
What's
drunk
the other one?
restaurant.
Crystals.
Crystals or White Castles?
When you're drunk.
I don't know.
Either
They're
or.
the same.
They're
pretty
the
much
same.
the
same.
But
Yeah.
Troy
White
Williams,
Castle
hot
all
take,
day,
Huddle House
every
is
day.
better than Waffle House. I agree with you.
I agree with that too
Hands down.
because
100%.
also Huddle House has sweet potato fries. Yeah.
I convinced my wife that Waffle House has. My wife likes pancakes. She doesn't like waffles. So, I convinced my wife that Waffle House has a secret menu
Uh-huh.
that includes pancakes. So I took her there,
Dana.
and she said, "I want pancakes," and they said, "We don't have pancakes," and she said, "It's on the secret menu."
Damn.
Oh
Damn.
my God.
That's how you get your
Yeah.
unicorn #1 in a fight at the Waffle House.
Yeah.
That's how you go see a lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh
All
boy.
right, guys, what's up? Let's see. Ice cream. I don't. KDM just says ice cream. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
agree.
Uh-huh. Yeah, damn sure is.
No, I was talking
Yes.
to ladies that were working the In-N-Out booth at that party or the
Bad case of
food
the
truck.
mud butt.
They're sending some of their people from California to work in the Nashville one just to get it started.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well,
Now, I don't know if there's any still around, but the best hamburger I've ever had, bar none.
Cow Corner,
Nope.
the Arctic Circle.
Nope.
What?
The ones in
A&W.
Nashville, they had 8 stores around, run by the Kurds, and they were called.
Fat Moe's.
Fat Moe's.
They're still there. There's one on
Okay.
8th Avenue.
Well, the one on White Bridge Road is shut down. That's why.
Yeah, the one on 8th Avenue is still there.
They're
It's right next
legit.
to the place where I get my car washed.
At the
every week.
Sutler, near where
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Sutler
in
was?
between the Sutler and the car wash.
Yeah.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I took when I come seeing you one time actually.
Yeah.
We left there. Me and
Damn.
shit. Damn. Boy,
Russell
my
Crowe.
brain is pretty-
Bro, you all
Chinese
I think
guy.
he's having
Chinese.
a stroke.
Calvin. Son of a bitch.
Oh my
Me and
god.
Damn.
Me and Calvin.
Tim's like
stopped there.
Chinese guy,
Hey,
bad
run
at
run
math.
that diagnostic on him.
Me and Calvin stopped there. Calvin had their big hamburger, the double, triple powder, $10 hamburger,
Yeah.
and a lamb
Oh,
Gyro?
roll.
Shawarma?
No, roll. Whatever you
Oh,
put
yeah.
in the roll. Never seen anybody finish a hamburger hardly.
yeah.
He
Not the
had
big
like 3 4x4s in Vegas at that party. Calvin Lim did.
Yeah.
3 4x4.
4 patties.
Oh shit, there ain't no doubt. I've never seen a kid.
Really?
eat
Now,
that.
all this talk
4
got me
patties,
hungry again.
4 pieces
I'm
of
kinda
cheese.
hungry.
Well, you guys wait till you get out of town
I
before
got
you
more
get anything.
chili
You know
at the
that.
house. Alex cooked for me.
You got Chili House? What?
Alex made chili tonight. I said I
Oh.
have more chili at the house. No.
Where are we going to eat?
Is the Chinese restaurant still open?
Till 9. So no.
Son of a! We'll probably have to go to Arby's.
There's not an Arby's here.
There's one up
The one
at
at
the
the
freeway.
interstate.
That was.
641.
Is that with Loves or the?
Yeah.
Okay, because North 40 closed down.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
saw that.
Everything up there is closed down. So
Yeah.
Arby's, we have the meats.
Yeah, they're
Their
legit.
chicken that they
It's
have
not.
there it has like honey mustard and stuff on it.
Yeah.
It is
The chicken, bacon, and Swiss.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Now they
that's
got
my
rid.
favorite
They
thing
just
at
they had a
Arby's.
promotional one. They got rid of them. I wish they'd have kept it. They had a fish sandwich that was legit. I mean, good hunk of. I know it was cod, but it was a good hunk of fish on there. You know what I'm saying?
Give me that filet o fish.
Yeah.
Give me that fish.
Yeah, it was a legit one.
I have a Japanese brother and sister. Tell me more about Asian etiquette. LOL.
Japanese is okay to slurp. I can tell you that much.
Skip that because I'm just gonna be mean.
That sounds inappropriate, Tim.
No, I mean eating your food, you homo.
Pierre.
I don't know if that's a legit thing. I'm just saying that's what I heard, my man.
What?
I mean, if you got more experience than I do, Barry Hall, come on with it, man.
No, I heard that was rude too to do that.
To do the
Yeah.
chopstick.
I thought that you had to do it under the table. Is what?
No, they
that
Like
if
you're
you
starting
did
a fire?
it over the
What's up,
table-
Pierre?
No, if you did it over the table, the
Crotch
slivers
fire.
go. So if you've got to do it under the table. Oh no.
I love it.
Oh, Pierre. He says, "Oh boy, look at this crew. I know if you were here, you wouldn't even fit in the frame."
Sweet Jesus.
You know, I love you, Pierre.
He could be the background.
So I was texting.
he could be the
I
background.
was texting Dana, and I was like, "Hey, I'm reading this book that my dad wrote, and it's talking about like your person." I said, if I ever wind up in jail, you're
Yeah.
my person.
Yeah.
And he was like, you should have a backup. I might be sitting in the cell next to you. And I was like, okay. And then we go back and forth. I'm like, so Pierre or Sherman? That would be number 2 for me because I know that they can both get shit done.
And did James say, no, Sherman, fuck Pierre?
Pierre said, Tim, you're just rude. I'm not saying anything disparaging about you. Your
He
buddy
said
has.
some stuff on there earlier before you got on. Pierre.
No, I didn't.
No, it depends on what I get arrested for. If it's
Was
you
Dana
or Pierre.
asleep a moment ago?
No, he was just resting his eyes.
I was taken aback at the acrimony.
Oh, somebody, Evil Tribble 1. Who is that? He says a lot of stuff. When you're low on cash from all the Five Guys trips, hit up Wendy's.
Nope,
Dude,
that's when you hit up.
check this out. When I was in college,
Cookout.
I would go get 2 junior bacon cheeseburgers for 99 cents each.
Sure, yep.
And then you could get a bacon and cheese baked potato for $2 and then a small soda.
Yeah, you're in.
And it was like
know.
$6, man.
Yep.
This was like 1993 and it was cool.
Well,
And if you've never had a Frosty before, a chocolate Frosty,
Oh, yeah.
and you put saltines in it, what?
get out.
I've never
Or
done
dunk
it.
your fries in it?
I have
I've
done
done
that.
that. I've done
French
that.
fries.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
done that.
Fries.
Salt.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will tell you this: when I was, unmarried and broke and all that
I
stuff.
wasn't
come
sure
out-
where you were going with
Wait,
this.
No, ramen.
Oh,
I'd eat
when
the
I was
shit out
tied
some
up in a
ramen.
Vietnamese prison.
No,
What?
ramen.
It's ramen. He says it wrong every
No,
time.
I don't. That's why they
Where's
say
the
it in Korea.
why?
Well, he said romaine.
That's why they say it.
Where's the
That's why
why?
they say it in Korea. Ramen.
But we're not in
Romania.
Korea, we're in the
Well,
United
That's where I got it
States.
from. That's what I lived on.
In Hawaii, they call it Simon.
He meets Romanian noodles.
hey
Shut
Dana,
up,
who do you
Louis.
think?
Hey,
Hey,
Louis.
Kayla.
Lewis.
Oh God, who do you think looks older, Dana or Big Sherm? I'm not that dumb. I want both of them to answer when I call to have them pick me up from jail.
So you have to understand. So this question is a trap because me and Sherman and Jacob and
Pierre.
Pierre went to dinner the other night, and we're at J. Alexander's waiting, and this waitress comes up and she's 25, and Pierre looks at her and goes, "Who do you think's the oldest one at the table?" And she looks at Pierre and she goes, "Well, it's not you." And I'm like, "Well, of course not. The person who asks is not."
And
that's
she looked
not
at
the
Jacob and she says, "Not you because of that mullet."
one." And
And
then
then she goes, "It's down to you two."
right,
And then she looks at me and goes, "It's you because you have more gray hair."
right, but she was wrong. Anyway, that's why Pierre was.
So-
he was trying to get you in that trap.
Nope, I ain't doing it. No, if it's something like I'm ashamed that I've done, I'm definitely calling Pierre. Cause like
Oh, yeah.
I want you guys to continue to respect me, and I know
No,
and I know Pierre will anyways.
I
Like
would
his
be like,
standards are lower.
"Hey, Kayla, what's going on?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, I got in trouble," and da-da-da-da, and I'd be like, and I'd say, "Huh,
Huh?
okay.
Yeah.
Why'd you call me?
Have you called Dana?"
What's
Yeah,
your
he's
favorite
in the
rifle?
cell
Yeah,
next to me.
That's the second time they.
Whenever
asked
I look at that, I
question.
always think, Sherman, what's your favorite rifle? Like, is Sherman ? What's your favorite rifle, Alaska or Arkansas? My favorite rifle is Alaska.
Same.
But it's
Thank you.
but. Really? An AK? I thought.
Well, no, I'm teasing. I mean,
I thought.
I really don't care either. Like, I never used like either of those. Like, well, that's not true. I guess I used an AR on the police department, but
What's more fun to shoot?
I enjoy the AK more.
Me too.
It just
What's
seems like
closer to
more
me?
organic, and I feel like weirdly like if I have a wood furnitured AK, it just looks right next to my lever action.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I would have called. I would have said it would have been a lever action, like a 45-70 or 44 mag lever action,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, I have a Winchester 94 angle eject and 44 mag with a 16-inch barrel, like a little guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that people don't realize about lever actions is how handy they are.
Right.
And the thing is if you take that lever action, you hold it up, it's as wide as your pistol, from tip to stern. And the thing is like you can put that in that space between your seat, and it's like there, like it's a part of your truck. And you try doing that with your AR.
Right.
You're gonna rip your seat. Try to do that with your AK. It ain't gonna fit. The magazine's gonna eat a hole in your carpet every time you go over a bump.
Yep.
And Pierre's gonna always be trying to open beers on it while you guys are driving down the road. So
Because in Tennessee, as long as the driver can't touch it, it's legal.
it's legit. So
No, but I thought that when he asked
This is
AR and
not
AK,
legal
I thought,
advice.
Neither. I thought you.
Not
I
legal
thought you'd
advice
state one of those.
from Tactical
Yeah,
Response
I mean,
to anyone.
You know,
Not
I
legal
also,
advice.
and I think probably you are too. I am an unabashed fan of the M1 carbine.
Yes.
I'm not a fan of the Mini 14. I wish that they ran as well as an M1 carbine and they felt like an M1 carbine, but they feel like some other kind of hot garbage that's sort of like in purgatory, halfway in between.
Well, I'm a fan of all the old stuff in the wood and the steel, just for its heritage and just for its history.
Yeah.
You know.
And
But-
'cause
but
he was
M1
there when it's
carbine,
invented,
yeah.
so he knows how to
Yeah,
use all of it better.
Right. Well, the M1 carbine,
Yeah.
you know, they say that you got all these leftists
Tim
anyway
remembers
saying,
before
until the
guns
AR
had
showed that
metal.
it was not an assault weapon. M1 carbine was the grandfather of it.
Yeah.
Gosh,
And the
Christ,
Sturmgewehr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that M1 carbine's been around, well, since World War II.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, you had one when you
Talk
parachuted in
over
Normandy.
everyone, 'cause people at home can probably hear me
Got him.
as well as these guys.
Shots fired!
Sherman just.
Hell, I
It's
moved
not
up
hard to
with-
find bullets for M1 carbine. If you go to buffalobore.com, tell them the good doctor sent you. They have legit 30 carbine defensive ammo there, and you can also probably kill anything in North America on 4 legs with it.
Yep. Well, and also when people talk about the old guns like that and they go, oh, they're not very useful anymore. I know one guy who I respect immensely that runs a school up in the Northwest. When you see him, there's going to be one carbine on his golf cart or in his vehicle.
Are you,
I'm talking about.
oh,
I'm talking
sorry. Yeah, I know you're
No,
talking
I was
about.
just going to pause because Lewis had his hand up again.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Lewis. I can't see you. The camera's in the way of your. Sorry, buddy. Go ahead.
No worries. I was just wondering if you have seen or the people in the comments the Fort Jaeger clips that have been going up the last few days.
Yes.
They're pretty awesome. Like, obviously, it kind of brings up different fields of emotions, right?
Sure.
But to hear his voice out there and small digestible bits of content,
Yeah.
I've been digging it a lot.
Me too.
What can I say except you're welcome?
What do you guys think? Guys?
No, I agree. I mean, I have so many clips saved over the years and things that James wrote, and back in the old days, there was and I'm sure Kayla remembers this from the time that she was a little kid. There was an after-action report that occurred from the lead instructor to James in the foyer of your mom's house, and so I have that notebook still that has all the stuff where James would say, instead of saying this, say this, because words mean things, and you're a smart fucking guy, so say the right thing. And I'd be like, oh damn, okay. And then now looking back at it, I can't believe that I ever said anything else because it seemed silly,
Well,
so
we all have our way of putting something, but like you said, it does mean something the way you tell them.
Yeah.
The big thing that when I was coming up, I was very fortunate to work behind Jay and the late Paul Gomez, and the first thing I learned is less is more when talking to students, and the second thing is tell them what you want them to do, not what they're doing wrong. Because it leaves that in the room. So, just simple things like that.
yeah, and don't ever show people the wrong way to do something.
Only show them what you
Right.
want them to do.
Show them what you want to
Well,
do,
and the
don't
other,
even talk about it.
And the other thing was, even though we can all do it because we're all accomplished at what we do, don't do it fast. Don't do a demo fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't impress the students. They expect you to be able to do that, but if
Okay.
you're doing it fast, they get nothing
You
out
can't
of it.
say that the biggest lesson you took was the positives and then talk about a bunch of stuff you shouldn't do.
Right.
Slow demos down.
Yeah, and I think that you got to model the behavior that you're trying to get your students to do. So
I do apologize, guys, that it took me until now to ask Shelton to pull shorts for the YouTube and the not Snapchats, the Instagram, all the social media sites. I honestly hadn't thought about that being new again content.
Yeah.
We don't always have to try to come up with something new.
Yeah.
He's got plenty
There's an archive.
of
Shelton
lessons.
can't take all the credit. Lewis was the one who brought it up to us. He said there is so much content behind that. Yeah, I remember him talking to me about it like forever ago.
Yeah,
And it just took us a long time to talk Shelton into editing it.
that notwithstanding, I hope they do get that out. But the other thing that
Who's they?
well, whoever
Them
Shelton-
fellers.
What do you mean,
Shelton.
you people? What do you mean?
Not
Shelton.
Them fellers over there beyond the thing.
It's a write-off.
Behind the talking box.
I've got a suggestion, and we've talked about it a little bit, but hopefully we'll talk about it more and maybe get it done. Maybe once a month we'll have a round table. We've got a table sitting over here. We can set the camber up in
Oh,
front.
we're
and get
doing that
more
on
people in.
Saturday. It's Saturday Night
That's
Lives.
happening
Saturday Night
Okay,
Lives at
I'm-
7 p.m.
All right, great. I'm looking forward to that. By the way,
Who said you
Lewis,
were invited?
Lewis, I've got something for you, Lewis.
Yes, sir.
Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
If he asks you to put your ankles
No.
up there on the couch, don't do it.
I need you to come back down here as soon as you can. I'm serious. It's not because I miss you. I lost Creed, and I need Titan to come back down. I need
Oh
to see
shit,
Titan.
Tim. I'm sorry to hear that.
No,
man.
it's okay, man. She went out peacefully. I mean, she was old. I knew it was coming, but I need to see Titan. You can just ship Titan down if you want to stay up there. I'm okay with that too. My bad. Anyway,
Well, I'll be down. I'll be down for that last rifle class in February. I'll be down the week right before that.
okay. Well, I'm just kind of teasing you too. I would like to see you again, brother. So come when you can, man.
Yes, sir.
And bring that big
Yes, sir.
lobster
Miss
with you.
guys.
Can we bring? Can that?
With
We're
some
gonna.
garlic
We're gonna
butter.
put it right here.
Oh, please
This
bring
one?
it, Lewis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that one.
That would be a good piece to put over. Yeah.
I
it'd be a
can't.
good
I can't
conversation,
bring
too.
that one, but I do have some claws off of a 12-pounder. Maybe I'll bring one of the
Oh,
claws
shit.
down. It's,
You
A nice
had a perfect
decoration.
joke set up there too, Lewis. I thought you were gonna say I can't bring that one, but I definitely have crabs.
He's like, no, what
Nope.
happens in
Don't
Vegas
even
stays
joke
in
about
Vegas.
that.
No,
stuff.
you know what we called them those in the military?
Pants rabbits.
No.
That's what they called them in
Scotia
Mice and Men.
Chingos. Scotia Chingos.
Oh my
Little
god.
friends. Hey,
Jesus.
well, you want to take us down that road? By God, we'll
I
go
know.
down it.
Here
Okay.
we are. Always wear sandals in the
Tim,
college
Tim,
showers. That's
every
right, Barry
time
Hall.
you're
And don't
right.
forget
say
that if you're in an
something-
area that has tinea pedis, go ahead and pee on your feet. It's true.
Hell, I do that by accident. now.
Andrew Escalona.
Damn.
Hell, I do that on a regular basis. I don't even know what that disease is.
Wait, is that
Prostate
George
problems.
Escalona?
Prostate problems. That's what that is.
Is that Grape Ape, Andrew? Or are you related to him? That can't be a common last name, Escalona, because we all know what that's Spanish for. That's for the lonely desert, I think is what it means.
motorized stairs.
Motorized stairs.
Isn't it motorized stairs?
He
Are
said
you
he
sure?
was great.
It is. It's Big George. Yeah. I love that guy. He's awesome. So you remember, George, when you were here back in 2008, we were all at the team room and we were watching, I can't remember what we were watching, but I think Ben was making rum cannonballs. And I said, and I don't drink, so I said, hey, you know what? Fuck this. Have you guys ever had a Baconator before? And I remember Chris Barrett was there, and
remember this.
he's like, oh man, I never had a Baconator. And I was like, let's go. So we all piled into like 2 trucks, and we went and we got like 30 Baconators from Wendy's, and then we brought back to the team room and we ate them all, and we were better men for it.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Well, I can't say it was that good, but I loaded everybody up. We had a CQB class. I loaded all the students in the CQB class up in the back of 2 pickup trucks, and we went and got Frosties at Wendy's.
Were they in guns?
Oh yeah,
And
geared up.
Yeah. See, I got
Back
in
of
trouble
the
for
truck.
that one time. Can I tell that story?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, this is
He's-
a,
you
this
can't
is
go to
a
jail
long
for it
time
now,
ago.
right?
Yeah. So I only got in trouble by James 2 times when I worked for him, and both times it was kind of like, after I explained myself, I was
In a little less trouble.
in a little less trouble. The first time was somebody posted some videos from a class, and he said, Sherman, who the fuck told you could shoot in that direction? so I just posted this YouTube video of him shooting in that direction in the excess sights video. And then he was like, don't ever do it again. And I said, okay. So then another time, we were training some people during the Global War on Terror. There was like about 21 of them, or 22 of them. And they were not from here. And
I know what you're talking about.
And I'm not going to say where they were from, but I'm just going to say they weren't from Camden.
No.
And they were like, Dr. Sherman, can you please take us to the place called Sonic? And I said, you want to go to Sonic? And they were like, yes, we hear that they have, delicious frozen confectionaries. I said, yeah, I'll take you there. So I wasn't even thinking like too hard about it, because they just look like dudes to me. I mean, yeah, they got armor and guns on and stuff, but I mean, we're in Camden, it's like half the people here probably got guns on, just not armor. And so I took them there, and they're all sitting at those picnic tables like as happy as a bunch of clams, just eating away their, whatever they call this thing, concretes or blizzards.
Blast.
Blast, yeah.
Dairy Queen is blizzards.
And then a patrolman pulled up, and I saw him, and he kind of like went like this, and I went over to him and I said, hey man, what's going on? He's like, yeah, we got some complaints from some people that there was like a whole bunch of heavily armed men. And I said, I mean, they just got pistols. Like, all the long guns are in the trucks. And he's like, oh, well, people were just freaked out. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, they just have never had Sonic before. And he's like, oh, well, that's understandable. It's all good. And so we left. And at the time, one of the tactical response instructors was actually the mayor of Camden.
Uh-huh.
So he found out, and then he told James, and then James was like, I was down in the team room, and I was like, so then anyway, and I was like doing my thing, and then I hear the door open upstairs, Sherman! And I was like, one sec. And so I ran upstairs, and then he's like, the fuck are you doing bringing all these idiots, these in guns, and I was like, no, it wasn't like that. Like, the patrolman was cool. He wasn't even mad. He's like, dude, don't bring people like all kitted up out to get ice cream anymore. Make them take the shit off. I said, okay.
Yeah.
So that was it. That was the only 2 times I ever got.
Is that when the rules?
Yeah. And so those guys were an interesting group too, because they when we were doing exercises, they would eat at lunch, and we would tell them like, all right guys, when you're wearing all your armor and stuff, you can't eat as much because you're gonna have a full belly and it's gonna hurt. And if you really want to get technical about it, if you fill up your gut and now you got to go do strenuous exercise, you're slowing the venous return back to your heart. You're slowing the amount of blood that comes back to your heart, which means you could get fatigued faster, which means you can get lightheaded. All these things can happen and stuff. And so we're like, take it easy, guys. And these guys would eat to the point like where, this is back in the day when people were still wearing vests, load-bearing vests that zipped. Mm-hmm. And, they'd be like, Mr. Sherman, would you please help me, zip up my vest? And they would eat so much, and then they would come over, and they always send like one spokesman, like a spokesperson, and they would be like, Mr. Sherman, the men are very tired and will require a nap. And I was like, a nap?
No.
What the hell are you talking about? Like, get your stuff. We've got things to do. Like, we've got operations going all the way until 10 o'clock tonight. And they're like,
Mr. Sherman,
Mr. Sherman, you do not understand our culture, and we usually have a nap after a large meal. And I said, I told you guys not to eat a large meal. I told you guys to eat modestly so that you could continue to work through the rest of the afternoon in the heat. Yep. Mr. Sherman, it is quite obvious that you are culturally incompetent when it comes to dealing with my people. And I was like, dude, I'm just telling you how it is. So anyway, it was a fun time. Yeah. And
there was a lot of weird stuff that came with that whole class.
Yeah, it was an eclectic group, and it was a good time.
Well, the biggest one I remember about something like that, I wasn't at that class that you're speaking of, but
Hey,
I was with one.
Shelton, will you zap that last comment there, please? There's a reason I'm not saying who in the fuck it was.
Come on, guys. Read the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was not at that particular one, but I was at another one. There was two groups there, two different nationalities, and they hated one another. And Jay intentionally mixed the teams up. And the first Monday, it was almost coming to blows. It was hilarious, but you know how it goes. By Wednesday, they're holding hands, and by Thursday, they're exchanging emails, and by Friday, they're buddy-buddy. So
Yeah.
you know how it works out. But it was a fun time.
It's a uniting
Yes.
experience.
Mhm.
Alrighty, guys. We went an hour over.
Hour and 3 minutes.
Hour and 3 minutes. We promised extended. We gave you extended.
Hope you like the extra length.
Do not forget to tune in Saturday night. What time are y'all
7
going on?
p.m.
7 p.m.
for
Central.
Saturday Night Lies.
Saturday Night Lies. To this YouTube channel, we're going to go ahead and do like we did with this live stream. Put it up there so that you guys can see it, and it'll be a visual reminder because it is something you are not going to want to miss.
It's gonna be fun.
Yes.
Anybody else have anything to say? Dana, Joey?
I don't think so.
Alrighty,
Dana said it was
guys.
cold. So
Can I
he
say
left.
it?
Yeah.
This is Tim Morris, Kayla Lewis, and Dr. Sherman House reminding you that your responsibility to be ready for the fight never ends.
Woo! Woo!